What's up, everybody, and welcome to Shapes of Gaming, our weekly conversational podcast, usually, but this is a bonus podcast. It's our reflection, if you will, of a very amazing game that we have recently played, Pragmata. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Stenson, Neocharge on PSN, and joining me for this Spoilercast is, as always, Bob Harriman, Leon Lionheartley on PSN. What's up?
A lot going on, man, but thankfully not my blood pressure.
Hey, that's good. That's good. And also, you know him, you love him. He's on a lot of our shows. He recently finished Pragmata. Caleb Schiff, Admiral Merps on PSN. Good to have you back, dude.
Hey, thanks. I ruined my wife's birthday yesterday with a bad present. So
no.
That's what I've got going. It wasn't really a bad present. No, I fucked up.
Was it a dick in a box?
No, it's even better than that. So as you guys have heard, both you two and the audience who listens to this podcast, they know that she's a baker and she's a pretty damn good one. Nobody ever gets to bake her. Nobody gets to bake her anything, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do my best. She's requested in the past raspberry lemon cupcakes. So lemon cupcakes, raspberry frosting was the idea I was going with. And let me tell you, because I'm not a baker, so I didn't expect him to be as good as her, not even close. However, what I learned yesterday was that she keeps her flour and her powdered sugar in the exact same containers. And
It's amazing.
Stupidly, I even thought I was putting what I assumed was the flour in. I knew all the things. I knew the wet ingredients, dry ingredients, how to mix the butter and the sugar at the beginning to make something just all the things that I've learned being married to her and also watching endless baking shows and enjoying it myself as a person who eats things. But I was like, man, why does this flour look funny? It looks weird. It's not doing what I feel like flour should. Whatever. Buttermilk smells terrible and it makes things delicious. So it's probably fine. So I'm mixing all the shit and it just doesn't look right. I'm like, no, did I like over mix the butter? That doesn't make any sense. I didn't scramble the eggs. What the fuck? So I pour them into the cupcake, little fucking things, whatever, little cupcake holders. And I'm like, this looks like vomit, like literal vomit, but I got to at least try. So they're in the oven and I start to make the frosting and I go to reach for the powdered sugar and still didn't figure it out because they're right next to each other. And I pull the powdered sugar out and I'm sifting the powdered sugar, which is not something that a person like me does, but I'm trying to surprise her when she gets home from her yoga and her dinner with her friends. And as I'm sifting the powdered sugar, I look down and I went, oh no! I just screamed because I realized what I did. And I look in the oven and it's just an absolute fucking disaster. So I texted the wife. She asked me if I needed anything, and this isn't going to help the listeners, but here's the picture that I took. I didn't send it to her. I just said,
do your best to describe it.
When I will after I show you guys and get your reactions. But I texted her and I said, when you get home, we're going to play a game called What Went Wrong. And she was just like, what? And I said, don't worry about it. So she gets home and she doesn't know that I've tried to make anything. Like she has no idea. So I told her to close her eyes and walk into the middle of the kitchen. And she's like nervous because, I hid these bitches in the oven. The oven was off because there was no hope. This is what came out of the oven. They are just a small. What these are butter pools that were almost like bad creme brulee mixed with a little bit of, I would say, dog puke. That's when you poked them, because I had to poke them. I was curious when you poke them.
Yeah, you got to poke them.
They were really, really vile. But I did finish the frosting because I was just laughing the whole time, like I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And so we have this awesome raspberry frosting with nothing to put it on. So Lisa said, I'll make something tomorrow to put the frosting on. And I was like, so you have to bake your own birthday gift? Because I'm a terrible husband. But one last defense to myself. She keeps the flour and the granulated sugar next to each other and the powdered sugar elsewhere. Now, I understand why now because I talked to her about this. It's like, why would both of the sugars not be next to each other and the flour be on its own? Just as a not baker, it makes no sense to me why you wouldn't have granulated sugar and powdered sugar on the left and then flour on the right.
Right.
And she was like, I use flour and granulated sugar way more than powdered sugar. And that's fair. But I was like, well, fuck me, right? Because that's not what I would have thought.
Maybe labels on the fucking jars.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't need them. She knows what as soon as I looked, because I was like, that's why this flour looked wrong, because it wasn't flour. That's on me.
Right.
That's 1,000% on me. So I totally own that stupidity.
Yeah.
But in my defense, I never do it that often. And we were watching a baking show with a professional baker just last night who was making bread, and he put citric acid in instead of salt because they fucking look the same.
Oh,
and Lisa just slowly looked over at me and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, that guy's a pro. So I'm basically as good as that guy. Like, fuck that.
Nice. It's like, that reminds me of a time that I went to go make chili for the family. And it's not a slow process. And Matt's had it, Caleb. Not to toot my own horn, but I make a damn good thing of chili.
I've heard lovely things about it.
So I go ahead and I get everything assembled, and then I come back a couple hours later and I go to taste it. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I looked at the spices I put in there. They're similar in color. They're similar in texture. But I had accidentally used ground coriander instead of ground cumin.
Oh, shit.
Yikes. What? What? No, thank you.
Dang.
No, thanks.
Man.
Yikes.
Well, this is the next episode of the Cooking Podcast, brought to you by Shapes of Getting. No.
Next week we're going to talk about. Next week we're going to talk about the great. What is it? You guys watch Great? What is it? The Great British Bake
Off or Great British Baking Show? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's funny.
We've watched all of them, and they're phenomenal. Anyway.
Oh, amazing. Well, this is why it took you so long to finish fucking Pragmata. Pragmata.
Took me that long to start it and then this long to finish it because I was hanging my head in shame. Oh, the best part of the story, Lisa offered, she was like, when she was out with her friends, she said, I think we're going to go to Dairy Queen. Do you want anything? And I just wrote back, I don't deserve it. And she didn't know. So she did actually bring me back Dairy Queen, and I was telling her what happened while sadly eating this cookie dough blizzard.
What's your Dairy Queen ice cream go-to?
Cookie dough blizzard is my favorite. Yeah. I know it's kind of basic, but I love it. Love it.
Do you eat cookie dough raw? I do the Oreo blizzard. That's even more basic.
Oreo's the next of my. I do like cookies and cream in general, but I don't know. Cookie dough is
the tiniest one. The tiniest one, because like I can't eat that much fucking sugar and ice cream. I have low sugar intake. So, how about you, Bob?
I don't know. I haven't been to Dairy Queen in a while, but that's because we've got Culver's here, and I am a sucker for turtle sundaes. But I'm with you, Matt. Eat cookie dough. I do it. Go look at what they use. I know they say about yada 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 egg, but they don't even really use real egg in that stuff. It's all pasteurized. So eat the cookie dough, enjoy the bake show, and cry over your sad powdered sugar.
Life. Live your damn life. Make mistakes baking. It was the intent that counted.
I know, but nobody ever gets to do anything really nice for her, because she doesn't really. Usually, she just does it herself, right? So I gave myself like 3 hours for an hour project, and then I got behind yesterday for other reasons that were not really worth complaining about. But I was like, "You get one chance, buddy," and I fucked it all up. I had lemons that I zested. Like, I don't do that shit.
Oh wow!
Yeah, no, I was going for it. So, oops.
Damn.
But
oops,
here we are.
That's a funny story.
Yeah,
I think the listeners are going to enjoy that for sure.
They did not expect that for Pragmata Spoilercast. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Right into it. All good. We love it. The Cheez-It story. Love it. It's good content. But we are here to talk about Pragmata. We are here with beers. What are we drinking?
I'll go first because mine's a basic bitch. A Blue Moon. I was gonna have some more Cloud Chaser for this.
Oh yeah,
I drank it all the other day. I just finished it because I love it.
That's
I
awesome.
love it so much. So Blue Moon was on sale. I think I got 18 pack for like $18. It's kind of nuts.
Oh wow,
Yeah, it was
beer.
a rebate and everything. It was crazy. I think they overstocked. But anyway,
now
so
do you put your little fruit slice in there?
I usually do, but I didn't today because I didn't want to choke on it during the spoiler cast. Because I'm an adult. Yeah, I'm an adult who knows how to imbibe.
Nice,
but not bake.
Blue Moon's a good wheat. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. How about you, Bob? What you drinking?
Well, I pulled out of my stash since Matt finally paid up.
I did, dude. We have a picture. We should put that on Discord. I'll put that on Discord if you don't mind.
It was a nice photo. You shared it with the League group, I think, right?
Yeah, our little private group. Yeah. You got like what, 3 or 4,
something like that.
I don't know. You had a fucking like stack of them, and you were just the happiest of a lark. So yeah, I'll put that on Discord.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good one. But no, I'm going back to living the dream as usual. But this time it's not the cream ale. Went with their Oktoberfest, which is a German style Marzen, and this is very delicious. Surprising. It's out of season because Oktoberfest comes in the fall with the Oktoberfest beers. But I actually really appreciate this one. I haven't poured it into a glass to check the color. No, correction. I did that yesterday, and it's got a very, very...
Pour it out into your mouth, and we can let's see the color. No.
Actually, pour it onto your chest.
Yep, and then lap it up.
I'll give you a free car wash with it, too.
Ooh. All right.
Get in there real nice and deep like.
But yeah, no, this is a surprisingly good one. It's stock standard, which you would expect out of Oktoberfest with that hoppiness, barley kind of going in, but it's got a nice kind of it is really an amber beer, an amber ale.
Very cool, very cool. Gonna need you to save me one of those so we can trade again.
I mean, you bought
basically, it. Yeah, that's true. But I owed it. So for Procopia, all kinds of shit. I too am living the dream over here. And I'm going with not the staple, but a variant of the staple that you turned me on to. It is Powder Run Cinnamon Swirl.
Ooh.
That's what I'm rocking. So, horchata style cream ale with cinnamon and vanilla. It basically just tastes like you're drinking a cinnamon roll. It's fucking amazing. I love it.
Were you drinking that during the episode 50?
Probably.
Because it sounded good then.
Yep.
Looks great.
It's a lighter beer too. Very flavorful and light. Living the dream is on point. Out of beautiful Colorado, right in our neck of the woods, somewhere west, I believe. I'm looking.
He says as he struggles to find it on the can. Very, very.
It's always you always look for it. And you can never. It says Living the Dream Brewing Company, Colorado. Cinnamon rich vanilla.
They're out of Boulder.
Boulder. There we go. It is west. Wait, I was right.
There you go.
Not Boulder. What's the? It's to the east of Denver. It's
east of Denver.
We used to support a charter school up there back in the day, if you remember, back in our old work time.
Windsor?
No. I don't remember that. I don't remember the name of the town. Sorry.
But the only thing
I did do this for you guys.
Oh.
See, I went and got a glass so that way I can pour this out on the beer. I know it's not going to help the listeners.
The cast pour.
But like I said, that is a solid amber.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I still think you should have poured it on your chest and caught it in your glass. Yep. But that's just me. Just for the fans.
Caleb just really wanted to see that. I
was asking for
let's see. Living Centennial.
Oh.
That's it. Yep.
Wait, no, that says Centennial State. Highlands Ranch. Ranch. Parker. Okay. Right in Denver. It's Denver. It's a Denver fucking beer company. So Denver has a lot of good ones. We got good water here. We got good mountain water. So we got good coffee, good beer, good wine, good spirits, all kinds of stuff. So
do you have good butts in Colorado? Do people have good butts? Good. Yeah. Do people have good butts out there?
Yeah.
Or is it just not? Do you notice it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's especially like snowboarding, like some good butts up there.
You get some glutes doing that.
Yep.
I guess that's true.
For sure. So we
Also
are
asking for a friend.
Got it. He must work out. Yes, we are here. We are drinking good beer, and we're going to talk all about Pragmata. Man,
Yes,
we're going to break it wide open. This game came out. Fuck, I don't even know. I'm like 4 games deep. A month
April
ago?
17th, I think.
Beautiful. April 17th.
Is that a Friday? I think.
I'm not sure.
It changed like 10 times, so
I know it did. It moved up a week and then it got delayed. It was announced at one of the events. I think it was a PlayStation State of Play. I think it was the showcase for PS5, and in
with
2021,
Returnal, right? Alongside Returnal,
yeah. So it was announced 5 years ago, and man, we were all just hooked on it, and we were just like, "Oh, what is this game?" This
actually,
looks like.
For as interesting as it is to have a conversation about it, I will tell you, I was not sold on it right away.
Oh, okay.
I like not that it was between that and Returnal, but of the two science fiction-y games when they showed it, I was like all about Returnal. I was, that game's going to be great. Part of it was Housemarque. I mean, Housemarque was kind of a no-brainer.
Oh, just wait till you dive into Saros, my friend.
But with Pragmata, I was like, Capcom does weird shit. They do weird shit good. Not like Kojima weird, but they do sometimes Capcom lays an egg with weird stuff. Like sometimes it just doesn't work, right? But I respect them for getting back on that horse and trying again.
Exactly.
So the first trailer for Pragmata, I was not sold. I thought I will keep an eye on it, but I am not about this game. It wasn't until trailer number 3.
Okay.
And I was like, oh fuck, that's gonna be awesome. I think the third trailer was when they announced the demo. If that's whatever trailer that was, whatever number, the demo announcement and all that, I was like, oh fuck, that game's gonna be really good. And then obviously played the demo and thought, why are you all coming out at the same time in games? So But I know you were very excited about it right away. I do remember back then you were just like, that game looks great. And I said, I don't know. I'm glad that I was won over eventually.
Yeah, it kind of gave me the vibe, and I mean, I know this is a joke online, but Death Stranding, like such mysterious, you don't know what's going on. There's a fucking astronaut here with a little girl, and you're like, what is this? And then Capcom, like, you're like, oh, it hits all my super exciting boxes, right? A well-known developer, AAA, new IP.
Sure.
And on cutting edge technology too. So that's why I was just so intrigued with it. And I was like, what is this? And when can I play it? So
can I tell you my biggest concern in the first trailer was wildly inappropriate? I thought it was going to be some weird like pedo Lolita game. I really did. I just thought, what the fuck is going on? Why is there this little girl? Because using like Last of Us as an example, because it is an older man with a younger woman as like a partnership traveling and doing what they need to do. But even Ellie wasn't that young. I mean, she was still young, but this girl, Diana, was like what, 6 years old, I think is what she was modeled after.
Yeah, I think something like that. I guess at the end of the day, you're right. But to back this up, I'm with you, Caleb. Like when I first saw this, because this came out and I looked it up, the first trailer, the first reveal was in June 2020 for PlayStation 5's reveal. So that did happen. And I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool, kind of neat. And there's some potential there. And then it wasn't like that first trailer when we finally got something last year. I was like, oh, that looks good. But that's frame rate looks like ass.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't, like you said, until that trailer that launched with the demo that I was like, oh, we're cooking. We're finally on something. But the more back that you're right. I was kind of like, what's going on here? Because it's Japanese developer, it's a new team, so it means it's a younger cast that's kind of making this game. What are they going for here? Because there's a fine line in that Japanese culture, and sometimes it gets a little weird, folks.
Yeah,
go watch.
But I gotta tell you, as we will talk about, all of those concerns were invalid by the time playing the game. They absolutely handled it the right way, and it was better than even I thought it was going to be. So that's really
I mean, I guess when I initially saw it, I was excited, but I was like, what is this? I'm intrigued by the mystery. And then the more I saw, the more excited I got. And I was like, holy shit, this is going to be amazing, right? I wasn't like, oh my God, day one buy when I saw the teaser trailer. It was essentially a teaser trailer. And if you want to, be entertained, go watch that trailer now after playing the entire game.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's a little different. And oh my God, the final game looks so much better than that initial teaser trailer when we were already like, oh wow, this looks amazing. It wasn't an engine or anything. It was just kind of CG. But it was just that intrigue and like new IP, Capcom, Sci-Fi, the moon. I was just like, what is this? And the more I saw, the more excited I got. And then once I finally played the Sketchbook demo, I was like, oh my God, okay. We got a fucking Game of the Year contender on our hands.
Oh yeah, we absolutely do.
And then when I played the final game and finished it, we're going to talk all about it. So this game was cooking for a while. We got Housemarque's sequel to the game that was announced before we got Pragmata, or around the time we got Pragmata, because Returnal and Pragmata were announced at the same time, but Saros and Pragmata released around the same time. I think like 3 days apart, right?
2 week. I think it was a 2 week window after all the things were shuffled. I think Saros was like April 28th ish, and Pragmata was April 17th. So somewhere around in 2 weeks. I mean, it's still the same launch window for all intents and purposes. Crazy.
Yeah.
Just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so they trickled out news. They delayed it multiple times. Bob, you drafted this. It was your number one draft, so you believed in it as much as I think we all did. But you put your money where your mouth is, and it's still sitting at an 89. One of the highest rated games of the year?
87, I think.
86 or 87, something like that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Thank you, Caleb.
Jesus Christ. This isn't the Gen Z podcast. Okay.
And spoiler, I think that's underrated.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree.
It's underscored a lot.
Yeah.
I think we all loved this game. I think, and we're going to talk about why. But I think this is your warning now. This is a fucking spoiler cast. It's in the title. You got the nice thumbnail with Pragmata that says Spoilercast. Okay, we're going to crack this game wide open. We're going to spoil the shit out of it. We're going to talk about everything story based. We're going to talk about the twists and turns. We're going to talk about the ending. We're going to talk about the secret ending. This is your warning. We're going to spoil the shit out of it. Okay, if you haven't played the game, go play it. It's an incredible, amazing game. Got it? Good.
All right. Now on to Hades 2. I mean,
right,
wait.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to go play Pragmata while you guys talk about Hades 2.
So yeah, we finished this game, Bob. You and I finished it pretty in parallel. Like what, 3 weeks ago? My time, dude. I'm pretty much time blind.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I know so I could tell you this much. I consumed this game like it was my last drink, and finished the first playthrough before you even really got started. And then you came back and finished the cleanup and the completion, if you will, in quotes, of this game before I even got a chance to go do it. So we kind of ended up at the finish line at the same time, but there was definitely a pacing.
Yeah. No, I kind of consume this game like a fine wine, honestly, because Jesus, this game is pretty. Around every corner, I was like, damn, Capcom cooked. And it's the fucking RE engine too. And they did some magic with that thing. We all played it on PS5 Pro.
Yeah, which helped a lot.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
It almost flawless. Just wow.
I know. It's incredible. Every like vista, the skyboxes, I was like, holy shit, especially when you go into the New York section, just like, oh, amazing. So, and then Caleb, you recently finished it. You got the secret ending, you did all the trophy cleanup, and you are currently in your lunatic, nice play on words there.
Yeah.
Difficulty playthrough, and you're wrapping that up. You're on the last level, it sounds like.
I am. Yeah. This is a spoiler cast. We're jumping ahead for just
we gave the warning.
Oh, it's fine. I just finished saving Diana.
Yeah.
Like rescuing, and getting that new ability and going to the communications tower, like the last area. I have not started the comm tower yet, but so the last boss I actually fought was the Luna Worm, the Luna Digger, which was pretty fun on lunatic difficulty. That fight was pretty fun, I will say.
Heck yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to talk about the loadouts and the builds we use too. If I can remember half the shit I used. But yeah, we haven't really we haven't talked about it a lot. Bob and I have kind of talked about it one-on-one, but we haven't heard any of your thoughts, Caleb. Very excited to hear what you thought. And should we give our overall thoughts before and then break the game wide open, or?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Okay, cool. We're gonna save you for last, Caleb.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, so I guess you're gonna just start with me, huh? Right out the gate.
Sure, or me. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
No, well, I can take this. So no, you're right. I drafted this first. When we were doing our draft, go back and listen to that episode. There was a lot of good early picks that were still available. This year's been jam packed, and there was something about Pragmata that kind of was like, I think there's something here, and I think it's gonna be a huge hit. And from moment one, when I launched this game, I immediately was like, screenshot, because it just looked that beautiful. That overview of the moon, and just I was like, oh, I'm good. And then within the first hour of this game, I was sold. I was a crying little baby. I was my heart, my ice cold heart, was melting with warmth and grew 3 sizes that day. Kind of a joke. And overall, I really enjoyed this game. I don't believe I'm gonna go. I might go back for the platinum, but the lunatic difficulty sounds really good. But then when I think about the secret ending and some of the boss fights that I went through, particularly you said the Lunar Worm, Caleb, that's a grind of a fight. That's like one of the longer fights of the game. I don't want to end up spoiling how I feel about this game, hunting for a platinum. And it's important to recognize that as a player. You go, okay, am I going to really I'm going to have the platinum, yay, but what's that going to do for my opinion? Dragon Quest VII Reimagine, for example, you had the same that experience, Caleb. I don't want to taint that. So I'm not going to go back for it, because quite frankly, at this point in time, this is the front runner for me. When we're talking about where we're at in projections, it's still early. We're only halfway through the year. But this is the type of game where the gameplay is awesome. You've got new mechanics that, quite frankly, haven't been done before. So think Death Stranding, the Strand verse kind of or Strand genre. This is doing its own genre, if you will. There's some awesome themes, great character development, the music, visuals, everything. It checks every one of those boxes that is a hallmark of a game of the year nominee at the very least.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Without question.
Awesome. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And yes, we are midway through the year, but this is currently my game of the year. It could change. We have a lot coming out, but this game resonated with me so much. I fell in love with Diana in the first hour and was like, I will protect you with my life. And you literally do in the game. So it was so well made, so well crafted. This is a spoiler cast. So well crafted. It's a game-ass game. It's like a very gamey game, if that makes sense. Like it feels like I'm playing a video game, but the production and the presentation is like amazing quality movie level. But it's still a very game-ass game. And you have... Right? There's a lot of games out there that you basically watch and play a little and you don't have a lot of interaction. But in this, you're just constantly being fed new upgrades, new tools. There's so much combat variety. I actually really love the soundtrack of this game. Great. It was very synth heavy. And the combat music and the boss music was incredible. And by the end, I was crying like a little baby. And dude, the end boss was just a masterpiece of a production sequence. And I loved the setting. I loved everything about it. And it is currently my game of the year. So I adored this game.
Good. I'm really glad to hear it. I mean, I know I talked about it before on I think on the 50th, 50th episode, the year anniversary. I think I mentioned that I do find it would be way funnier and way better if half of us hated it and half of us loved it.
That's
to talk
true.
about a game.
Yeah.
I cannot. Unfortunately, this is not a game that's going to be that way because Pragmata is so good. And much like both of you, it's not even close this year anymore. Like Resident Evil Requiem, I really, really feel like should be in the conversation, but it's still, it's a Capcom game, very different style of game, while still being true to Capcom's roots. You know, and with Pragmata, I feel like all of the things were ticked. You don't need to know anything going into that game. Now, that's not necessarily a slight against Resident Evil because it is an established IP, but being a brand new IP, Pragmata deserves to have that extra little praise because where the hell did this come from? And how did you guys hit it so hard out of the park? Like it just, they really did such a great job with my thing, because I come from the movie background first, even though games are a majority of my life now. I really appreciate what you said about it being a game ass game, because a lot of times when I make recommendations to friends of mine, they do ask, is this a movie that I'm playing or is it a game? That's very, very fair, because I do tend to like movies that I play as well, coming from the film area. With Pragmata, it is a movie that you play, but you play it a lot. It's not just punch a couple buttons, hit a couple things, walk forward, hit a couple things, walk forward. Yeah, a lot of it is, I don't want to say on rails, that's not on rails, but it is more linear than a lot of games that are very popular today. But it doesn't matter, because the hacking aspect, along with the gunplay, is one of the coolest new game forms that I've ever experienced. It's such a good idea. And it's also hilarious because my sister and my niece were here last weekend, and my niece came to stay because she really wanted to see Forza Horizon 6. I mean, that's a game that we play all the Forza Horizons ever since she's been old enough.
Yeah.
So I invited her down. I said, I get it early because I bought it early, whatever. But I said, when she got here, I said, there's another game that I want you to try while you're here, though. You love The Last of Us. You love Spider-Man. You love a lot of these action games. But I think you will just shit your pants when you play Pragmata. And she's like, what is that? And she hadn't heard of it. And so I knew that she might not like it that much, because I don't know how she feels about science fiction. But I thought I do want her to at least try. She started it. We switched over to Forza Horizon 6 later, and then a little bit of Street Fighter. And I don't know, a couple matches into Street Fighter, she was like, can I play the hacking game again? That game was awesome. And I said, yes. We stayed up for maybe an hour and a half. She got through the first two biome areas, and
dang.
I will say, I mean, as a person who is very, very good at games, and I'm not shaming her at all, there were a couple boss fights or whatever where I'm just like, what are you doing? I didn't say that out loud because I don't want to hurt her feelings, but I'm just thinking this could have been over 15 minutes ago. I don't know that I understood the hack to open the enemies to make them vulnerable. I don't know that really doesn't really read when she's playing games, and that I pick on her about that all the time.
Yeah.
But regardless, the fact is, even without that, she loved it. She's just like, I want to play all of this game. And I said, yes, you fucking do, because it's great. So this game is, I am so happy for Capcom yet again. They brought it yet again, and it's just kind of unbelievable. So those are my overall thoughts there. Unless you guys have specific questions about lunatic difficulty and such, but maybe we could get to that as we discuss the
I do.
Game.
Yeah. I definitely do. And you what I think you alluded, you almost were there, Caleb. And I think what really makes this game special is you look at like last year's winner, Game of the Year winner, right? You look at Claire, you look at these other, you look at Team Asobi with Astrobot, you look at some of these big hitters. And these are oftentimes veterans of the industry that have kind of come together as a conglomerate of some kind. But there's always a center pillar there. This did not really have that from the development team standpoint. It was, hey, we have new graduates. We brought them to Capcom. We want you to make something different. And they just, and when something had to have happened with this game, because it came out Like, we got a feed, and then we got nothing, and then it went dark, and then it was like, oh, we're coming in 2026, and then we got a release date. Then I got pushed up. All of that comes into to a group of people who don't have a hit in this industry at all, and they put together a phenomenal game, and you can see that it drives into its DNA when you're playing this game. Because, like you said, with the hacking, I was concerned. How are you going to integrate hacking and shooting at the same time? And somehow they fucking made it work where anybody can do it. So I'm glad to hear that about, excuse me, about your family member there, because that was a big concern for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. When I saw the hacking element to it, I was like, okay, that's cool. It's a good trope, but are you going to flesh this out? Are you going to like build upon it as I play? And holy shit, they did. They gave us builds, they gave us mods, they gave us I don't know, what do they call it? Like I use the heat build mainly.
Yes.
When you hack, you have the blue nodes. When you hack and you have the blue nodes, what is it called? Like a hacking.
Combustion.
Oh, you use combustion?
Well, I think that's what it is. The heat nodes, aren't they combustion nodes? Isn't that what
right? But what's the actual term for the mechanic in the game? All of that.
No, it's heat buildup.
Yeah.
I know. What is the term for when you choose it in the menu? What are those considered? Like, are they hacking systems? Yeah.
Like the mode, I think. Boost mode, strike mode.
I think it's hacking mode. Yes. Yeah, hacking mode. I love that. And they kept feeding me new ones. They kept feeding me. There's so many new mods in this game. There's 4 categories for each mod. There's the stats. You can upgrade each weapon. One thing I wanted them to do, a little like improvement, I think that would have been cool, is to build your ability to upgrade the weapons. You have to use them and get kills on them, and then it like extends that ability too. Because sometimes I would find myself just using the shotgun all the time.
That's because the shotgun might be the best weapon in the
game. The best
that weapon.
Interesting. Really?
Okay. Cool.
I mean, I used some variants,
but and I would use the code generator that fires the wall and gives you more nodes to go through when you hack.
Beefy. I didn't use that for the longest time, and I accidentally picked the wrong thing when I was leaving to go do some extra bullshit. I don't know. And I was like, fuck, I grabbed the wrong thing. I was like, well, let's see what this does. And then the first time I used it, I just murdered something. I was like, well, I've been making a mistake. That is an awesome weapon. The code generator is so underappreciated, I feel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Each weapon is so unique, too. And it's such a unique play style if you change the weapon. And, man, it gives you so many. I think there's, like 16 or 19 different weapons, 3 different categories.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Crazy. Yeah. So, sounds like we all love this game and loved our experience with it. And, man, when I first fired it up, the title screen was awesome. Just a nice little piano intro with the moon and everything. And then the cool thing is that's dynamic. So when you start it and you find Diana, the start screen changes to Hugh and Diana sitting there together. So that was cool.
It's such a cool little title screen after you start the game. When you come back for your first continue, I just stared at it for a minute. I was like, oh, that's sweet. That's so sweet. I love it.
Yep. The game just starts out super cinematic, and you see Hugh. He's on a mission to find out what the hell happened on the lunar base, and like you meet his crew, and you kind of get some back and forth there, and then everyone fucking dies.
You are right, but if you may, will let me here. There was something really cool that was the moment that I was like, oh, there's something here in this game. Because yes, the crew members die. I knew that was going to end up happening. Something was going to happen. But even that small 5-minute dialogue conversation between Hugh and the other crew members really set things up, and kind of it really resonated because as the listeners know, I served 21 years in the Army. There's something about out that squad mentality where they're providing banter. They know they're going into something. They don't expect anything to happen. So they start bantering and they're talking and they're kind of jabbing. And then, one person there, he's just wanting to get back so he can go hang out with his kids. And then you've got Hugh over there who's just like, I don't like kids. I just like doing my job. And I've met out of his crew, I've served with every type of that individual. So it kind of puts you into that mind space right away where you're like, okay, I know who I'm playing. I know what I'm kind of getting into, because I've had some of those conversations and they're a blast, man.
Yeah, it felt authentic. That was the thing,
yes.
right from the get-go, very authentic. And they even talk about it, jumping ahead a little bit, obviously, when Diana and Hugh throughout the game, they talk to each other just, I don't want to say at random, because some things are scripted, obviously, for time. But sometimes if you're running around a level just for cleanup, Diana will just be like, hey, Hugh, you said you were an orphan, right? Like, she'll just throw that out there, and he's like, yeah. But one of the things they talk about is when Hugh, I don't want to say halfway through the game, but about halfway through the game, he mentions something like, oh man, I really got to contact their families once I'm home. Like, he feels obligated to follow up with his comrades and their families and what was important to do. But Diana asks him about this. She's just like she says, what are your friends? Or I don't remember the exact dialogue, because he talks about them giving each other a hard time. And she's like, your friends sound mean, or whatever she says. And he's like, no, the way we talk to each other is we could just say things and we're just kind of poking fun. And she's like, poking fun? She's a very innocent child.
Good.
And the dialogue there is perfect, because that's exactly like a kid would be confused. Be like, what the fuck? Why you say mean things and they say mean things. Why are you even friends? But we understand that as adults. Bob, because you served and you actually have dealt with growing closer to people through thick and thin. So I actually did want to ask you specifically how you felt about that. And you already touched on it, that it was just from the get-go, you felt like that was pretty understandable and easy to follow. And then they all died. You're just like, well, shit.
Yeah, that was you. Perfectly well said, because that's it, through thick and thin. That jabbing of individuals, you want to know the tight group of friends, get them into a squad and have them go through traumatic experiences together. You will hear some of the most homophobic, racist things in the world, but it's all done in fun. Nobody cares. Nobody takes it personal, because those things are minor and they're inconsequential to the bigger things that are going on. Like, I don't know, it's an abandoned space station and I just lost everybody in my squad. I don't know their status. I assume they're dead, but I don't know this. So that kind of helps temper that edge, if you will.
And it was really cool to find out that Hugh, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but was just an engineer. I didn't know that going into the game. I mean, into the demo, obviously, I figured it out. But most of the time when you have a game like this guy has guns, and all of a sudden he's the best shooter in the world, and it's like, oh, he's probably like whatever the sci-fi military is. No, he was just an engineer who needed to learn how to fire a weapon to keep himself safe when he was going on missions and stuff. And that was so cool. It made him more of a person instead of just some random guy,
Very Dead Space.
Yes, very well said, Matt. That's exactly it. Because if you look in the initial cutscenes when they're first boarding into the space station, Hugh has the sidearm. Like, he's got a pistol, and a pistol sidearm is used as like a last resort, self-defense, close range. But his other squad mates were the ones that had the long rifles. They were the ones that were carrying the heavier equipment, because that's how it goes. You assign those weapons, which are resources, based on the roles within that squad. So he was just an engineer. So you're going to get a sidearm in case something goes south. But really, it's more of a, well, if you have to use it, things are probably fucked anyways.
Right. Pretty much.
Right.
And even Diana comments later, or she's like, at least you're good with guns. And I'm like,
right.
You are good with guns, despite the fact that I don't think you should be. But it makes sense. In this world, it's completely legitimate. So that was a neat little thing that they did, instead of making him like the next Marcus Phoenix. I didn't want that, because I like Marcus Phoenix, but I didn't want to be like, I'm a tired and gruff man who's got to save humanity on the moon. Like, I didn't want that shit. I wanted what we got, and I didn't even know that's what I wanted until we got it. So that was a beautiful, beautiful surprise.
Instead of Marcus, we got Isaac.
Yep. pretty much.
Basically, yeah. I resonated and related with Hugh so much. He's 40. And
dude.
So
when he said that later in the game, I was like, "Praise be!" I felt seen.
Protagonist. Woohoo!
Yeah. And then of course, my wife, the first thing she was like, "Wasn't Joel old?" And I was like, "Silence, woman." She was. He was, but he wasn't. He got way older. And fuck that. Right. This guy's like my age.
It's like a JRPG where the old person of the party is 27. And you're like, fuck you.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool 20 years ago, but fuck you today.
I just played one where Raven, they call him old man, and he's fucking 29. It's like, fuck off. Yeah. And Yuri's like 21 or something. And but this protagonist, Hugh, amazing. The banter between his crew, and then they all die. Freak accident, AI starts coming alive. You're like, what the fuck is happening? What happened here? And now you realize, oh, this is what we're investigating. Hugh falls, and we meet one of the best characters in the game, I'd say.
One of the best characters in video games, period.
It's really like one of the best companion characters.
Awesome.
Easily. Yeah, Diana. Or I don't even know that she comes up and she's like, she tells, it?
I have the wiki because I'm like reviewing some of things. It's DI0336-7.
Yep.
And I know. As soon as that came up, I was like, damn it.
I didn't even think of that. That is out of my orbit. I don't know. But he falls. You meet this little girl, which you find out she's AI. And she tells her model number. And he's like, oh, why don't we just go with Diana? And she's like, Diana? And one of the cutest fucking cutscenes. And she just gets all excited. And she's like, Hugh, Diana, Hugh, Diana, Hugh, Diana.
So great.
Yeah.
That was, I love that. Because I've had those interactions with my kids when they're really younger, and you teach them something, and then they're just like, when they're at that age, and it's like, repeat, because they're learning how to, what the context of the word means. It's like I always tell people, kids start learning to speak when they're 2. And we call it the terrible twos because that's when a kid learns the word no. The thing that they don't teach you is at the age 3 is when it goes up to 11, because not only have they understood what the word no means, or in this case Diana, they've learned how that word impacts. So not only have they learned the word, they've learned the context of that word. So now we've gone from no to no provides a resonance with that other party, and it means something. And that's what I saw with Diana when I was like, Diana. Like, she was confused what that word was, and then it was Hugh Diana, and she understood that Diana was now her name.
Yeah, and not only is she modeled off her 6-year-old, but she's like not human. She's learning humanity too. So she's learning so much, and she's just absorbing everything. And Hugh immediately kind of sees her as a tool. It's like, oh yeah, you can help me, because he doesn't like kids. And he doesn't like robots too. He's basically calls them clankers. And like, I know you resonated with that, Bob, because he's like, oh yeah, this AI shit. I don't like it. So good.
Bob and I are together in that with Hugh. I think it just, as much as I love technology, fuck that shit. I'm tired of that.
I'm in the middle. I can see utility, and one day I'll have a robot girlfriend, so I can't be too biased.
I can see utility, but I also can see just how horrible everything has.
Oh, absolutely.
Gotten. I mean, the case in point, for every one Diana, there's an entire fucking Edith space station trying to kill you. So, I'll take the Diana, but I don't know if I want to deal with the Edith. And I think they're both necessary to happen. But I have to ask you boys, just because we've talked about a little bit of the dialogue between Diana and Hugh. And do you have a favorite line that Diana said in the game? Because I do, and it's kind of silly and dumb, but it is my absolute favorite, the way it was delivered. And I was curious if you guys, I didn't actually think about it, I just popped into my head the other day, and I was like, that was the best line in that game. Do you have
think on that? Let me think on that. What is yours?
Well, Bob, do you have one?
Yeah, we've already covered it. I love that interaction with the Hugh, Diana.
Okay,
Hugh,
that's
Diana,
mine too. Yeah,
that just that sold the game for me. And then probably the second, the second would probably be at the very end, which we'll get there. And you know what I'm talking to.
Sure.
Which
is very good. No, mine is way simpler, I guess. It's when Hugh says something about having a house, and she just goes, "A house." Like, she doesn't know, but she know. Like, she's like just this idea of whatever the fuck a house is to him is. She was so, I don't even know how to describe her, the voice actress, when she did this. When she said just those two words, it spoke so much meaning to me that both times through when I played it on lunatic difficulty, I haven't been really skipping cutscenes because they're all great. So I might skip when they introduce, if I'm doing another training simulation or something, like I don't need to see that again. But for the real cutscenes, I've just been enjoying it because it's a great game. But that one, I heard it again yesterday, I believe, and I was just like, yeah, that's my fucking favorite line, because the way what it means to her when he tells her that, and that's all. They don't even have to elaborate. She's just so a house, like it's a big deal. So I felt like I needed to ask, because I know that that's simple, but I love it. I do think all of her dialogue is wonderful, though. For what it's worth, her dialogue is perfect. And that was another concern I had years ago with that trailer. Children, especially young children, are so hard to do well without being annoying, unless they're supposed to be annoying. I believe we talked about this pre-podcast, not today, but like before you guys ever had Shapes of Gaming, with God of War. When God of War, I mean, sorry, we're going to spoil a little bit of God of War just for a second here. This is your warning. Go like 40 seconds in the future. When Atreus is being a fucking asshole, when he's just being an asshole in the first God of War, and Kratos is like, I hate that boy. Like, you feel it. But then, 40 seconds later, he loves him again. That's what being a parent is. And that's a real child. That's so hard to do well, And with Diana, I thought, how are they going to do that well with a 6-year-old, or who looks like a 6-year-old? I guess she was between 6 and 8. I wasn't quite sure. They
modeled off a 6-year-old because it's in her serial number.
Yeah. No, but I mean, in the trailer, like way back, I didn't know how old she was going to be, because RE Engine, who knows? But when I found out that she was that young, I thought, ugh, how's that going to go? I'm so glad that voice actor just, like, honestly, they need to be nominated and need to definitely be in the run for winning this year.
Oh yeah,
she was so good, so good.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And the 6-year-old, if you guys look at child development and you like look at kids as they grow, 6 ended up becoming like, that's a really between 6 and 7 years old. And I'm sorry,
it's true. It's true though. He's being serious,
but it's true. This is when they're starting to get into that development of, hey, I know I can do X, Y, Z, and I'm gaining some independence. And that's what you see with Diana throughout the entire game. Like the very first scene when he was fighting that robot and he's shooting it and it's ineffective and she's trying to help and he's like, no, back up. And she's like, no, I can do this. It was a perfect age, because if you'd done a model of like a 12-year-old or something like that, it would have felt weird for what they were aiming for in terms of the dynamic of the characters.
Yeah.
Sorry to waylay you there. I needed to know. I needed to know because we're talking about her dialogue.
No, her laugh and her excitement at the end when she's like, Diana, I was just like, oh my God, I will fucking fight everything for you. I will die for you.
Her laugh and excitement throughout the entire game. When you give her REMs and stuff, and she's just, she's legitimately giddy.
Her big coat is just like,
so good.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, you find her. I thought it was interesting. He sees her as a tool and he's like, oh, like this is the only way I can survive because these fucking AI robots are trying to kill me and you can open them up so I can shoot them. And this brings us to the puzzle element, the unique combat element of this game that is kind of the hook, honestly, and what makes this game super unique. And I love the shit out of it. I never really used the auto hack. I always like doing it with the face buttons. I love that they did it on the face buttons instead of the D-pad. That works so well. And yeah, it took a little bit of getting used to, but I was just like going straight through all the nodes and eventually throughout the game. But what an incredible combat mechanic. And it was cool when like it's all in game and engine. And she's like, well, let me see if I can try. And then it brings up the grid, and you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Did you use the auto hack at all, Bob?
No, I was having too much fun.
I didn't even know. So when it becomes an unlockable thing, I was like, fuck that. That's easy mode. But I didn't actually know that it's not necessarily easy mode. I don't know because I've never used it. But after I beat the game, I went back to do the extra stuff. And I was like, I'm just going to buy the shit that I never bought. And auto hack was the last thing that I needed to buy. Yeah. So I just bought it. And then I didn't realize there was a trophy for buying all the shit. And I was like, oh, well, okay. And then I went into a battle and I tried to see it one time just to see what it was like, just to hit the button. And I was like, that's stupid. So I never touched it again. Didn't unlock it on lunatic difficulty. That's never going to be paid for. I don't need it.
So you actually tested it, huh? Because I never even did that.
Just once.
I tested it too. I was curious.
I just wanted to know how fast it was. I wanted to know, would it make the game easier? Because I actually thought if you're supposed to use it, if it's not a crutch, if you're supposed to use it on lunatic difficulty, and when I saw what it did, I was like, nah, I'm good. I got this. So I have not used it at all in my limited playthrough.
Good to know, because I almost wanted to, and then I saw that it used your hacking bar for your overdrive, and I was like, no, I'm not letting you tamper my resources so you can go dink, dink, dink. I was like, no. Let me fucking do this.
Yeah,
dude,
I'm faster than you.
That hacking gauge is so critical, especially when you get deletion protocol. Fucking shit wrecks.
It's crazy.
So yeah, we find Diana. We start killing robots. And then you go to the big boss. Right? Am I missing anything? I don't want to go too granular. Right? We're trying to get. Yeah, we're trying to get power to the station. Yeah. Yeah, you guys play the game. You're on a spoiler cast. You're listening. We're going to share our thoughts. We're not going to go granularly. But this was the big marquee moment when you're fighting your first boss and you get overdrive protocol. This was an incredible part of the game. It was in the demo. When I played the demo, I was like, holy shit. Okay, this is our God of War rage mode, right? And just gorgeous when it happens. And this is before or after the shelter? Because I want to touch on the shelter. This is before
the shelter.
Yeah because I played through the game a little bit for a specific trophy for the I don't know, it's like the enemy that you have to hack to get. It's for one of the trophies, but I played a little bit through, so I remember that section. But yeah, this boss fight was awesome. It was amazing. It was in the demo too. I played that boss in the demo probably 10 times over. Just an incredible sequence, so detailed, especially when they open, like the enemies open. The production was amazing. And it's just a fun ass boss fight and very varied attacks. And this was like the tank, or I don't know what it's called in the bestiary. This game has a bestiary.
Yeah. That is one thing. And it's not a slight against the game. I don't fucking remember what any of the enemies are called. Any of them. Nope. I don't. It's just like, and it's not. I mean, I know their names, but I couldn't tell you which was what. Like Walker,
right?
And Walker 2. I know the Walkers, but it's not like they're bad names, because what else are you going to call them? They would have generic bot names, but it does not help for
especially
me.
Especially when Edis is naming them, because he starts creating them, and it's just like, oh, this is chaos. All right.
Well, and eventually, I just call the one the fucking samurai asshole. The one with like the round hat. Like, that is my most favorite and least favorite enemy in that game. I fucking hate fighting them. They're pieces of shit and they need to go to hell. However, they're awesome. So it's like, those things are neat. I couldn't tell you what it's called. I have no idea what its name is.
My least favorite were the baby boys. The ones they have the red fucking satellite that come out.
The Demogorgon face.
Yeah.
My niece's least favorite too. She was like, "Fuck those." She didn't say that. She doesn't really swear, but she just looked at me and she's like, "I don't like those things with the faces." And I said the Demogorgon, and she's like, "That is what it is." And I said, "Yeah, those are a pain in the ass with their little antenna. Those things are terrifying and awful." And I hate
the samurai ones are so cool. And the little spinners, the slicers, and he's like, stop scurrying around, stop skittering around. I love when he said that. It's so good. He's so afraid. That's like his most fearful of all the enemies, and you can tell he's like, stop it. I'm gonna go away.
It's
so
true.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So that boss fight, very great. The overdrive protocol sequence, amazing. Then we get the power on. It's got the gorgeous skybox of Earth from the moon, especially on OLED. We all played on OLED.
Man. Unbelievable. Oh, very cool.
Just awesome vistas and so detailed. You got PSSR 2.0 and it really shined. And then as we were playing, as Bob and I were playing, we got an update to make PSSR 2.0 even better. I didn't see a difference, but it's crazy. Like I was like, holy shit, there's an update that makes it better. Very cool.
Yeah, that was one of those. I'm not entirely sure what they did, and it could be just my old age eyes getting to me. But the game looks phenomenal from the very beginning. Like,
yeah,
okay, I take your word for it, Capcom.
The only guess I would have, and I have not confirmed this in any way, shape, or form, but there is a slight amount of shimmer that happens when closing. Like if you pause the game, or if you turn really fast and it's a really bright color onto a neutral or a darker color. So this happens a lot with the floors being a silver, like a metallic gray. And then you're looking at earth or lights or whatever. If you turn really fast, there is ever so slightly a bit of shimmer that shows up on the floor. And I think they made it less noticeable. I think that's what it is. But that's like, if you're looking for it, and I almost feel like, I don't know if that's confirmation bias because I noticed it and I thought that's got to be what it is, but it's not like it's a bad thing. That's my guess. I think that's the one thing that they did to reduce shimmer and make things load just a little bit faster.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it doesn't matter because this game is damn near flawless. It's so pretty.
It really is. All like you're on the moon, you're looking at Earth, and you're just like, holy shit, this is amazing. And then you see that tower being printed by another fucking printer. That's crazy. Everything's printed in this game. Where we heard that? No.
Oh yeah, it's 3D printed. A little timely there, bud.
Mm-hmm. So after the boss, we finally get to the shelter, and this was awesome. I thought it was really cool that you can like go back to the shelter pretty frequently, and they actually encourage you to return to the shelter through each sequence. These are kind of like your checkpoints, right? And you can go back to the specific checkpoint whenever you want, no penalty, and you can basically fast travel to your home base whenever you want. And the shelter sequence was cool. It's so bare bones when you get there, but I mean, a fully upgraded shelter and a shelter that you discover, two very different things. So I love the evolution of that, and everything opened up, and it was really cool getting to the shelter. And then you see all these like locked lockers, and you're like, that's how many fucking weapons and shit are in this game. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was exciting. I will say we technically got to the shelter before this. Beating the boss is when you get your first license. Like you level up 0 to 1 and you meet Cabin, and he does the stamp shit and the I don't know if the training missions, I think they're the next key, but the first time you get to the shelter, it's very, very bare bones. And then when we get back with this, they're like, oh, here's some more shit you can do. And that's right.
So I got to ask, gentlemen, because you mentioned it a little bit there, Caleb, with Cabin.
Yeah.
The bingo cards.
Oh yeah.
How did you fill them out? Because I did it a very specific, neurotic way to get the that little dopamine hit, and I'm just curious if you had like a methodology to completing them.
It honestly depended on the node I wanted to unlock, but I would usually go in an L shape and then diagonal.
Okay, all right.
So the first time through, obviously, on Lunatic it's very different, but first time through, I didn't know, because sometimes Capcom does this shit where there's a finite amount of things, and maybe you can't play all the bingo cards. I didn't know. I wasn't sure how it was going to work. So the first one, I only got the first bingo by doing top to bottom. You know, like 1, 4, and 7. Let's say if it was like on a phone. So left row, 1, 1, 2, 3 down. And then I hoarded, thinking there's got to be a better stamp. There's going to be like a better reward, right? And I thought, if I don't need to use them for anything, I won't. It's when I hit it. Well, usually the way I play games is I will do as much as I possibly can until I realize I either don't have all the tools or I need to get a little boost. Whatever that boost is, which is probably stupid because a lot of players would say, why don't you just play the game as it is? And I do that too. But with games like this, I'm just like, there's always another little fucking thing around the corner. So when the second stamp card came out, I was like, aha, I have like 10 coins. So I'm going to just get all these. And then I was like, wait, there's going to be at least a third one, right? So I just kept waiting. And then I noticed with the red keys for the red zones.
Yep.
I decided to prioritize that. Once I saw there was a red key to unlock on, I think it's the second stamp card that you can actually see. It's not a question mark. I bought those right away because I thought every time I see a red zone, I want to try to conquer that so I don't forget where it is. And also so I can unlock the rest of the stamp since they block off some of that, which was a very smart thing to do, by the way. But generally when I was done hoarding and I got over my weirdness, I went around the outside and tried to full into the middle to get as many bingos in one go as possible.
Thank you. That's why I did the same thing. I'm like, ooh, this is going to be really cool. I'm going to fill everything except for that center. So that way, when I hit the center one, it just goes ding, 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 ding.
It's that endorphin rush, man, which is so stupid. I admit that's so stupid, but I don't care. I did it anyway because it's great.
I think I did that on one, and it was very satisfying.
It's very satisfying. And then, of course, Cabin's like, triple bingo, quadruple, whatever. Like, he's just saying shit. And he's just like, congratulations. I'm like, yeah, give me my free outfit. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, dude, the bingo cards, the upgrade tree, the 3 upgrades. You got Hugh's defense, Hugh's attack with his pistol, and then Diana's hacking. I prioritized hacking immediately. I was like, hacking, and then probably his damage output for his pistol. And I was rocking like base defense for a while. Yeah. I usually play games as a glass cannon, so I prioritize that. I love when you change the different sections that it like goes to. Like when it goes to Diana, Hugh in the background, he like puts his hand on his hip and he's like. He just looks at her. Just those little things. I was like, "Oh my god, that's fucking funny." So
the animations are very cool. For the minor stuff like that, it's just the little things. It's the details that really set it apart.
Exactly.
So you both prioritized hacking first?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I tried to. At first, I was building hacking and his pistol almost evenly, and then. After the second area, I said, fuck that. I'm going all hacking. Like she's so good. I hacked with her so much. And I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I got really, really good and really fast with it. So I was just doing more damage with that than I was with the pistol anyway.
Oh, okay. No, I did weapon first.
Okay.
That doesn't surprise me for you. And I don't say that as to make fun. That checks out. You are a military guy, so duh.
It was great. Oh, look, you're vulnerable. Pop, 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 pop. Just watch the health bar. But also because I could be my dummy. Like the heat mechanic, I figured it out later. No. But initially, it didn't seem like I must have missed a tutorial or something because it didn't seem well explained to me. So I was like, what's with the heat? And then I realized later what he did, and I was like, oh, this is where the game sings. So then I kind of figured it out. And it was around the same time that I got the assault rifle. The one because it says it generates heat. Yeah, the pulse rifle, and it generates heat. And then I really started going, what's going on here? And then I kind of figured it out eventually.
That was actually when I started to upgrade the weapon more because of the heat. I was like, once I got that pulse rifle, I said, okay, well, I'm just going to get criticals more often. Like, fuck this. Let's do it.
It was super helpful because that weapon was at like level 7 or something when I got the pulse rifle because it shares both of them. So I just started blasting and it was like that heat bar went
I focused on the hacking, but then I'd say I was maybe 2 nodes behind on the gun too because I was building them pretty evenly. The defense I just didn't touch till probably like stage 5. And as soon as I learned about the heat, I had a heat crit build like throughout the fucking game. I was heating them up and just popping headshots left and right. It was so fun. And then you would get them to a critical state where they'd overheat. And then I had the mod where if you finish them, it does damage and AoE with everyone else.
Crit, yeah.
And then opens them. Game over.
Especially when you added because I added the pulse rifle and then I had the mod that refilled your pulse ammo, your primary weapon, whenever you completed a hack. So I would unload an entire magazine, do a quick hack, unload an entire magazine, rinse, lather, repeat.
Yeah.
I actually ran the heat build with the pistol. I thought the pistol hit like a fucking truck.
Oh, it does. It's
yeah, it does.
Going to Lunatic and being forced to use the pistol again. I mean, I switched back to the pistol for the second time when I unlocked the secret ending, because I thought the pistol actually was better in that fight for me.
It racks.
Because it's insane. But going back to Lunatic difficulty, or going to Lunatic difficulty and not having the pulse rifle, I was like, man, I miss my heat. But this thing's cool. I mean, it does work. It's not as much work as it should, I think, in Lunatic, which we can get to later. But it's a noticeable difference for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Just seeing all these upgrade sections and seeing the pods. My outfit pod was immediately open because I got the digital deluxe. Yeah. Mainly for the lo-fi beats in the shelter.
Oh, cool.
It's like, there's like lo-fi versions. And I was like, I want to throw money to this IP and this developer so they make more shit. So you know what? Here's my $10. I'll get some cute outfits. I didn't really care about the outfits. But the lo-fi beats, I would usually change it in the shelter. And it was cool. You could change the music. And then, let's talk about the REMs, REM section. So good.
Which REM song? Oh, you mean the Earth Memories. Never mind.
Yeah. That sequence. Well, I guess we can go into the next section. The next section is turning on the power. That's a small one, but then the one after that is the comms tower, right?
Yeah. Well,
no, the comms tower is technically the last thing you do.
Yeah, the comms tower is technically the last thing.
Sorry, in the comms tower in the New York section?
You see it in the New York section, but you don't actually get to go to it.
Yeah.
Like you go to it, that's 5.
Right.
5. But I don't remember what the second one is called.
Well, no, it's the comms tower there. I think you're thinking of the actual... or
is it
Edis Tower?
Maybe that's
Central Tower. Yeah, the comms tower you get to, and that's where the boss comes down from.
Yeah, that thing is
that boss fucking
so cool.
It's so cool. But that sequence when you're and you see all this printed taxi, like this half printed taxi of all this shit that looks like. It's like in the walls and you're like, what is going on? And we saw the New York section in like some marketing and we were like, oh, you go back to Earth and it's all fucked. But nope, it's a printed New York on the moon.
Yeah, that was a cool little... surprise isn't the right word because obviously we got to see some of it in the trailer. And
right.
Like you said, I thought, we're going to go back to Earth at some point. Because it's in the fucking trailer, and then when we got there, it's like, oh no, we don't. This is cool. It was a neat little section. Also, it's called the mass production array. That's
it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. The mass production array.
Yeah. Which makes sense because they go there and the thing starts to try to make more shit out of the ground. You know when it's
that's true.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And that was really cool is that what really sold the New York part is I've heard people who mentioned like from New York is like some of those areas were pretty spot on and you're like, oh, this really has the feel of the city. And then when you look at you listen to the audio logs of the workers that are there, not the audio logs, I apologize, but the documents you pick up and you read them, you realize that like there's more, it tells a better story and kind of really levels it with some of the crew members are like, yeah, I don't really like being here, but this landscape actually makes me feel like I'm truly back on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, go ahead. Sorry.
Speaking of, I read or listened to the audio logs and read the like emails and stuff like that. And when they were saying, "Oh yeah, we print in New York and we're printing like Japan and printing Europe," I thought those were going to be the next levels.
Oh man, that would have been crazy. That would have been really crazy.
Right, like a freaked out printed Japan. I was like, "Ooh, I mean, foreshadowing." I thought it would be that
Samurai Bot. It's the closest,
right?
And they talked about Hinami in that level. That's jumping ahead a little bit with the cherry blossoms and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I wanted to ask because the first time through here, going back a little bit, when he names Diana, he says, "I'm not going to call you by D10 whatever the hell."
Yeah.
How about Diana? And I thought it's because the goddess of the moon is named Diana, and that's why that's just where they came up with the name. I would assume, right? I don't think I'm wrong about that, but not that Hugh would have thought this little girl's a goddess of the moon, but it still works that way, and I'm not mad about it. But then when we're going through this section, the New York section, if you guys remember, it's like I think it's the second area you go to. There's a place called Diana's. There's a big billboard that says
Diana's Donuts.
Yeah. And I thought at that, honestly, because I didn't really know what to expect. It's science fiction, and there's this girl who I very much like, but she is an android, Pragmata, and Edis is a prick. So I was like, oh no, why is this called Diana's? Is she like in the system and just kind of fucking with him to become his friend? Is she gonna betray him later? Like I was I saw that name because I thought, why is this called Diana's when he named her Diana an hour ago? Like that wasn't her name. And then later when we learn about Daisy, I was like, well, why wasn't it fucking called Daisy? That doesn't make any sense. So I do think it was just a weird coincidence, a happy coincidence. I would like to know if people from New York know, like, oh no, Diana's Donuts is up on 45th. Like that would be cool to know, just because why was it Diana and why was that place called Diana's? I wanted to know if you guys noticed that when you were playing.
I know, I definitely
was the same name, and was that weird to you?
Yeah, but I thought it was just a coincidence. I know, like the writers obviously intended Diana to be the goddess of, or to reference the goddess of the moon. But Hugh in the game he's like, oh yeah, Diana.
Yeah. That, which makes perfect sense. That's fine.
Right. But Diana's Donuts, maybe it's a famous chain in New York.
I'm looking because you guys got me curious now. Sorry, I gotta go. So there's a Yelp. The closest thing is a Yelp reveal for Diane's Bakery Cafe in New York, but there's no chain. So I think it was just a quick self-referential thing, which is funny because speaking of, like, there are Easter eggs left and right if you look in this game.
Every Easter eggs, man, they were so well done. So I just like grinned every time I saw one. I'm like,
did you guys see a Mega Man Easter egg?
Other than the fact that she
basically is Mega Man.
is a busterless, mega busterless child. No, I did not see a direct Mega Man Easter egg.
Saw Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil was the first one I came across, I think.
Well, it's kind of a Devil May Cry and Resident Evil hybrid. Resident Devil.
Yeah.
So
it was cool. Smart.
Kind of cool. Yeah.
All right, I looked it up again. I'm going to send this to you guys. Apparently, there is an Easter egg, and I didn't notice.
Oh.
Look at this. You guys are going to get this live reaction. I think this is the coolest thing in the world, and I'm sad I didn't see it on my playthrough.
Oh, let's find out.
It's a quick 30 second, but it is a Mega Man Easter egg.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Wait. No. Oh shit! I saw that. It doesn't look like Mega Man, but it has the animation.
It's the animation, like the drop down and then the movement and the walk.
I did see that.
Jump?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you it is. That's a Mega Man jump. I think it's just scripted. I did see this because I heard the retro sounds. And I was like, "What the fuck? Who's doing that?" And I look at Cabin, and it was doing this, and I didn't put two and two together. But that's the animation.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
The little mini cabins, I thought it was kind of maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity to make those off of Capcom's IPs, because I thought that's what they might have been doing. But it was more like, no, this one has a silly hat.
Yeah, this one has a fun little hat and a dumb umbrella. Like, okay, sure, why not?
When he first was like, "Oh, shoot this," I was like, "All right, I'm not going to shoot it yet. What's that audio cue? What's that?" And I was like, "Okay, that's a pretty easy tell." Caleb, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Bob, I think I know your answer, but you might have too. We got all the cabins, the mini cabins, pretty much. We shot them until the last level where they were just in fucking nowhere, and you can't hear them, right?
So I didn't get them all because I couldn't hear them all. So I have to go back and clear because I know what you're referring to. Where I'm like, I listen for that audio cue every time.
Yes,
a very good callback to the Resident Evil remake and the current iteration of Resident Evil with like Mr. Raccoon figures, where you hear that and you go, "Uh-oh," and you stop anything you're doing and you start searching.
Remember the one in the library?
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
That one was an asshole. I only missed one mini cabin the whole way through because I will say I heard all the others.
Yeah, I missed 3 and they were all in the last level and they were like fucking 50 meters away where you can't even hear them and you have to scope them.
Well, okay, so to be fair, I couldn't always hear them from where I could shoot them in the last level. Like I would hear them and look around and not see anything and be like, I know you're here somewhere. And then I would run back a little bit and then I'd run forward a little bit and then I'd run around and I would just go crazy trying to find it. And eventually I did actually get out the charging piercer, like the essentially charge up sniper rifle thing.
Oh yeah.
Not that really helped because it's not like you get a zoom scope, but I just felt like that let me focus better. But the ironic thing is the one that I missed was just in a fucking hallway that was like the easiest one. I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. And I went back to clean up for unknown signal and I was just lumen farming, or limb farming. And I ran down this corridor and I was like, what the fuck? How did I miss that one? Because he was just like right there. I felt very stupid. I actually did much better on this one than I do with the Mr. Raccoons typically.
Right. I love that they brought this mechanic back. It's just another way that this is a game-ass game. And just I'm a sucker for collectibles. You put a ton of collectibles in the game, I'm there, right? Lego games, I'm like a fucking cracked out hummingbird with collectibles.
Yeah, because in the first Assassin's Creed game, the very first one, which hate it,
the worst one,
you had to collect feathers. At some point.
No, that was 2.
Or that was 2. What was the thing
you collected? Flags.
Yeah, and I remember hating it, even though I usually like collecting things as long as it's interesting and fun. And for some reason,
that game just wasn't fun to play, and it wasn't fun to traverse. That's why.
That's true. But with a game like this, games like the whole Resident Evil series, it is awesome to do that. I don't think they overdid it in this. I don't think there were too many mini cabins. I think there were just enough, just the right amount.
Weren't there like 20 or 30 or something like that?
Yeah, probably. I don't even know. But not so many that I thought, I'm going to have to do this out of obligation. No, it was like, cool. And a thing that I really appreciated in this, jumping ahead a little bit more, you didn't need to get all of them to get all of the fucking rewards.
Thank you.
I mean, it's a trophy. It's just a trophy to get all of them. You get a little extra limb. Cool. Yeah. Let me have fun and let me not agonize over getting all of them unless I want to, And in this game, I didn't feel like I was missing out. But the one that I missed, I actually didn't even know if there was one left. I went back to the little hub where you could see all their little things, and I was like, oh, I'm missing one.
Right? Yeah.
And then I was like, no, where did I miss it? So I went through every level again just for fun.
Oh no. Just for fun, huh?
Playing to get limb. I was like, why not? And I was doing unknown signal anyway for the bosses. To do the bosses again.
Right.
And I thought, I'll just go through the whole level again because this game rules. Like, why not? That's and I could maybe find things that I had missed out on, like removing the build up shit, the corruption and all that. So I thought, why not just do that? And fun fact video I sent you guys, where I melted the boss.
Dude,
the first
crazy.
3 bosses I did the first try, and I did not get hit by any of them and just murdered them on the signal. And then the 4th one, the Luna Digger, hit me at the very end when I had stunned it and I was going to kill it, and it fell on me and hit me. And I was like, no, it's not a perfect run. Damn it. So and then I didn't record it because I was like, nobody cares. So I only sent you number 3. I didn't send you 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was a really fun thing to do with those mini cabins, and I didn't have to do it out of obligation. I did it because I wanted, and that was cool.
They were just fun to hunt down. So yeah, a lot of collectibles. Yeah, dude, so many guns. You just keep drip feeding, and they give you probably the best one first, which is I forget what it's called in game. It's essentially your shotgun. And I was like, well, I'm upgrading the shit out of this one.
Is it Shockwave? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Shockwave.
Yep. Yeah. See, this is fresh in your brain.
Well, I also have a stupid memory for useless information like that. So, like, when's that ever going to help me in life, except for literally right now?
It's all Pokemon up here. It's just nothing but Pokemon. Charmander is number 6.
That Pokemon.
But so, Bob, you started to talk about it a little bit, and then I probably waylaid us. What was your favorite non-main weapon in the game?
The railgun, actually.
Okay. The charge piercer, I think.
Yeah, the charge piercer.
Yeah.
Like the shotgun was good, and it's a great backup. But the charge piercer, if you get them, and then so the way I built it is it was unlock and then stun. So it was multi stun and then heat generation, or not heat generation, but the other yellow node was I want to say it was the exposure. So do that, and then you just expose everybody, charge the railgun, hit a crit, and you watch the health bar go bye.
Yeah. No, it's great when it has its utility for sure. I really liked it. I just felt like I needed the shockwave more often than the charge piercer.
Yeah,
like that was the thing. That's all.
And that's for the weapon. That was for the time that I just didn't feel like using my primary weapon, because let's be real, gentlemen, for us, it was all about your primary weapon and the green weapons, the support weapons.
Yeah.
Those made the game, at least for me. Anyway.
You saw my video. What weapon did I use when I was just murdering? It was the main primary, because it was just so good once you figured out how to hack and fire and buff at the same time. That was the key in that game.
Yeah,
we're using the hacking method or the mode where the more you hack, the more gun damage you get.
No, I was using boost mode. So in boost mode, I'll be honest, the first time when I unlocked it, I used it a few times and I was like, this mode kind of sucks comparatively. It boosts your hacks that you input. So confuse will be boosted if you go over a boost and confuse. Crit or expose will be boosted. Defense drop will be boosted. So I used Diana's chain hacking, because then you could just hack in boost mode with the defense dropper and the expose node. And then I would you saw what it was, just firing nonstop, going with the hacking constantly, and no auto hack used. That was all manual, by the way. But that was why, because boost mode just makes it sick. Disgusting. Also, I would like to, if I had a time machine, I would go back to right before I started playing this game, and I would show my slightly younger self, like, this is what you're going to do in a week. And then when he starts, he's just going to go, how? Because the first couple times you hack, it's like brain break up. Oh, right. What? It's not quite, I don't want to say it's not intuitive, because it does eventually become very intuitive. But the first couple times, it's just a little like, oh, like you stumble, and then
there's a learning curve for sure. Yeah,
there is. I did get very good at it very quickly, but when it started, I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this whole game. And then 2 hours later, I was like, what the fuck was he worried about? Yeah, never mind. It's fine. But that's such a cool. But yeah, so that's the boost mode was what I used most of the time, just because I did the chain hacking. Early in the game, though, it was almost always incendiary for heat, the combustion, like that. That was just good. I never really liked the gunfire increasing the hacking damage one.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why. I'm not saying it's bad. I did it and I didn't like it as much as I like the other ones. The other ones seemed to flow better for me. So
okay. Yeah.
Strike mode, I think, was that one was called?
Yes, that's it. No, you got it right.
Yeah.
It was strike mode.
See,
I don't remember these
information.
Yeah, I don't remember by name, but when you say them, I go, oh, I know what you're talking about, because that's how my brain works, folks.
Oh yeah.
There's offense mode as well. And that's the one I couldn't remember which was which. But.
Okay. Gotcha. And then what nodes did you use? Like the pickups? What are they called? The enhancements? No.
Yeah. I think that sounds correct. The enhancements.
Yeah, I would believe
when I found the health one, I used the shit out of that vampire build all day.
I did not. I did.
No.
I think I used it one time. Yeah, I used it once in Lunatic because it was on the ground and I had a slot open and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just heal a little bit," and it was great.
Multi-hack was my staple. That was
multi
there.
was so good.
Boom. Yeah.
Depended on the situation, because multi-hack really didn't do
bosses.
Yeah, didn't do shit for bosses.
Right.
I need to swap it out, but you're right. Multi-hack, confuse, and expose.
Yep.
Just
confuse. Okay. So good.
Confuse / paralysis, depending on really quite frankly the mood.
Yeah, those fucking babies with the Demogorgon face. The stun was very good for them.
Oh yeah. I used the shit out of stun.
But I was multi-hack, confuse, and defense drop, not expose, because then they would just beat the shit out of each other with lower defense. That was cool. To watch them all space, it was great.
Tell me you played a Necro in Diablo 4.
Not this time, but yes, I did before. I have had all the classes except for Warlock.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so the little bot, he showed up once for me, but you shoot him and then he starts running away and you got to hack him.
Oh, the scanner, I think.
Scan, I don't know what's called.
Something like that. Yeah, the blue thing.
There's a trophy for it. Did you guys get it on the first try?
I still don't even have it.
Oh, okay.
So
it's a rare spawn, but it script spawns when you go through the actual story in New York.
Yeah. There's like 4 or 5 locations throughout the game.
So I didn't know it was a trophy until I had done it eventually, like when I just got it the second time I saw one.
Oh yeah, same here.
But the first time I got it all the way to the end and I was chasing it around and it was dropping limbs. So I was like, well, I'm not going to fucking kill it. I'm just going to let it do its thing. And then it disappeared. And I was like, well, that was stupid. And then the next time I was like, fuck this thing. And I killed it and it dropped a shitload of limb. And then the trophy popped. And I was like, I should have just killed the other one. I assumed that I could just follow it around. And so that was kind of a dumb me thing. But yeah, the second time I had sticky bombs or sticky grenades. And so I was just like, it was easy.
You got to use the net on.
Well, the net works on that. I didn't even think about that.
Stasis, sweeper. It's called a sweeper.
Sweeper, that's right.
Yeah. I tried it. I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. I tried that because I was like, I'm gonna get this fucker, and I hit it with the stasis, maxed out. By the way, I maxed that as the support weapon first, and it was like, I'm stunned. No, I'm not. Fuck you. I'm gone.
It's got a small stun animation, but it's just that little amount that you need to hack it before it goes away.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess it's a skill issue for me. That's okay.
Oh, I'm a walking skill issue, sir.
You'll be fine. Oh, I do have a quick interjection that has nothing to do with Pragmata, and I'm sorry because I listened to the last episode you guys did earlier this weekend. Matt, you're gonna be so mad at me, and I'm sorry. This was an honest thing. You guys were talking about Hades 1, like Hades 2 and Hades 1. God mode. You said God mode, and I was listening, and I said, "There's a God mode in Hades."
God damn it!
I never knew that. So of course, my ass goes to the computer and look it up, and I was like, "Oh, well, that would have made the game a lot easier." I didn't need it. I had a great time. It was really fun, but I sincerely didn't know that there was a God mode. I didn't know you use. I mean, good for you. Whatever. Have fun with the game the way you want to. No shade at all. But when you said that, I was like, I have to tell him. And I have to tell him on the cast. That's because it is cast related. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
no. Yeah. And there's one in Hades 2 as well. And I'm fucking using it.
Are you?
Okay. Yeah. And so's Bob.
Are you, Bob?
Yes, but I haven't like. All right, sorry, I know it's not related to Pragmata. Basically, the damage reduction on it goes up by 2% every time you die, and it starts at like 34 or something, right?
No, it starts at like 15 or 20.
No, it's at like 30. I promise.
I use it.
Well, that's.
I'm already at 32, and I've died probably like 10 times.
Are you sure about that, champ?
I'm not going to use it at all.
Look it up.
But the point is, I've only died like 5 times, so it's only at like 40% right now.
Okay. Does it cap at 100?
I know it caps at 80, and the difference is in Hades 2, you can set the cap.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
No cap. No cap for Matt. Sorry, that was a completely obvious. Well, for listeners, they do know that it is not scripted because that had nothing to do with Pragmata.
Right.
Sorry.
It starts at 20%.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I knew I wasn't crazy, Bob.
Oh, so. I can't confirm that. I don't have that kind of training.
You know what's going to be for me? 0%. Because I ain't no good. Although, you know watch. 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, when I'm playing it, and I'm just like, fuck, I got to use it. It's hard. I will let you guys
You say that now until you fight. Oh, wait, I can't say it because Matt hasn't even fought it yet.
What? Damn. I'm like 25 hours in, bro. I'm all the way there.
I'm pretty sure you haven't gotten to that fight. And I want to see the stream because I'm going to hear Matt go, "What the fuck? God damn it!" But sorry, folks. We'll get back to Pragmata.
Yes. Yeah. We'll probably talk about a little 80s 2 spoiler free on episode 52. Are we on 52?
I think it's 52.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Nice.
Still here.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Pragmata. Yep. We are with you said it was called the scanner. The skimmer.
Sweeper bot.
See, I can remember other shit, but for some reason, not the fucking bots in this game. But yeah, you're talking about that guy.
No, I was just curious.
Which was but that was a cool little section too in the second area. Did you guys like the design of the second area and the navigation overall? By the way,
it was all right.
It's different than all the other places. I got lost there more than I got lost anywhere.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I got lost until I got the upgrade to ping sweep or whatever you want to call that.
Oh yeah.
Dude, pinging. When I first pinged, I was like, okay, well, show me collectibles. That's stupid. And then I got an upgrade for it. I'm like, yay!
I'd like to think that every time you use it in the game, Hugh pokes Diana, and that's how the ping works. He's just like, hey, because she's the one doing it. So
that's true. Huh? Yeah. Every time I would hack a enemy and Hugh was like, good job, Diana. I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't do that. Diana did that. It was kind of like, oh, weird. But yeah, the New York section was fun. I like the kill rooms. The enemy variety was cool. You open up the big gate. You find the satellite towers. You open up the sections of the gate, and then you get to the boss. The boss is fucking huge. We saw the boss in the marketing, and we were like, what is that?
That's a big bitch.
Yeah, apparently it's the second boss. I'd say the first main big arena boss of the game. And yeah, super cool. 2 phases. And just, I think like the dynamic loading of assets was really cool. I'm just like, he's printing fucking towers like left and right. Like, blah, 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 blah. Then they disappear.
Super cool. And the fact that you could interact with them as well. They weren't just there to be an impeding force. Like you could scale the thing if you needed to. That was really just how Capcom, the fuck. It was such a cool design choice. And utility. It was great.
Yeah. I wonder how this runs on the Switch too.
From what I hear, I have no idea. Actually.
Oh, I actually can tell you because I looked at I went and looked at this and I still got it up here for like you're talking about the performance, right?
Yeah.
The Switch 2 version is docked mode, runs at 540p upscaled using DLSS to an 1080p output resolution. In handheld mode, it is rendered at 360p internally with 3 times upscale to 1080p output. The game's frame rate is unlocked in Switch 2 with it fluctuating between 30 and 60 frames per second, depending on the scene. Nope. Among the cutbacks, ambient occlusion is excluded altogether on Switch 2 with lower global illumination quality, giving darker indirect lighting.
See, basically, that's a shame. That's a shame. I think it's a shame because this game, and it's nothing against Switch 2 users. It's their only way to play. I get it. I feel like this game it's a disservice to not play it the way that we've played it. Oh, and I know that's easy to say because we played it almost the best way you probably can outside of Alex spends $12,000 on a PC rig. But even then, I would argue that this game's probably more stable than a lot of your average PC builds could handle. But if you're playing it on the Switch 2 and imagine you guys have played it. You're doing the hacking and there's an explosion. All of a sudden it drops from 60 to 44 frames per second. And then it bounces up to 55 when you try to dodge or turn around real fast. I feel like it wouldn't feel right. It doesn't. It takes away that special something about the game just being as polished as it is. And
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
it's
that's
a high
elitist.
reaction game.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's benefits this game heavily running in pretty much lock 60.
Yeah.
And the performance is pretty important and crucial for this high octane, high reaction combat.
Yeah. And I could even say if the Switch 2 users, could do 1080 with the 60 frames per second, like, okay, that your system is not going to be a PS5 Pro. I totally get that. But the fact that they're low res and it's having frame issues or maybe not issues. Some people wouldn't consider that issues. I would, because of what this game can do.
Right.
So that just sucks. It makes me sad for the people that can't do it, that they don't, whether they don't have the money, they don't have the space for it or whatever. That's a bummer. I kind of wish that I'm going to invite, if I have a friend who wants to play Pragmata and he only has a Switch 2, I'm going to tell him to come over and just play it at my house. And just, here you go. You can make an account because this is how this game needs to be played.
Yes,
you're right. It's important because I also learned while I was doing the research on this, gentleman. So you keep mentioning, like you mentioned during the, I think back to the RE9 trailer, Matt, immediately you're like, that's RE Engine because of the hair.
Yeah.
All of that, the hair tech that we see now with Grace and RE9 and everything, it all stems back from Pragmata. So the development team wanted to make it better, and they were trying to flesh it out. So they had to go to Capcom's internal team that develops the engine and say, "Hey, this is what we're looking for," so they could modify the RE engine to handle the hair physics for Diana.
Yeah. And dude, those hair physics, amazing. I would just jump and watch her hair. Jesus. It's awesome.
Any other engine, any other game, the hair would have been like sticking up like she's some kind of siren at certain points. Here, it's zero issues.
Exactly. So yeah, this boss, very fun, very cool. We get licensed to go back to shelter, and it was cool. It unlocked a lot. It unlocked the combat sequences. God, thank God. I know you did, Caleb. I know you did, but thank God you don't have to get fucking 100% gold on each combat challenge. I know you did, Caleb. You don't have to.
I'm gonna make you proud of me, and also not proud of me. I did. I will say, because are there 30 of them total?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think I had trouble with maybe 2 of them. Honestly, like 2 of them on the later where I was like, oh damn, either the timing was just so tight. Or in the first time, you don't really know what the fuck you're doing. So the first time, sometimes if it was a race to the finish and collect all this bullshit, I might just not try that hard the first time and just look around and be like, okay, let me make a plan, and then retry and just and nail it. I will tell you that last last fucking mission can eat an entire bag of dicks because I was 2 seconds off of getting all 3. 2 seconds off. And I was like, I just finished it, right? I just did it. And I was like, And then a trophy popped. And I was like, oh, did I actually get it by mistake? Like I assumed, and I didn't even know, again, I assumed there was a trophy associated with just all of them, but I was doing them for the rewards. I was doing them for the Lunam. I was doing them for the, skill points and just all the shit that you get. Or limb or whatever the hell it's called. But when the trophy popped, I was like, huh. So I went back and I looked at it, and it had my time, and I don't remember the time exactly, but it was 2 seconds off of the third thing. And I tried it again, and I was like 4 seconds off. And I was like, you know what? I don't really give a fuck about this. I don't care about this. Because I think the reward is 5,000 currency. I was like, I don't need it. So
well, 7 skill points too.
No, I think 7 skill points you get just for completing it. I think the third, like the timed part of it, I think is just the currency that you spend on shit. So I was like, I don't care that much. Maybe I'll try it again on the lunatic difficulty. I actually think I will try it again on the lunatic now that I've done lunatic. I don't think the training missions are scaled up for lunatic difficulty. When I've been doing it in lunatic, it's been like, oh, it's over. Like I've just obliterated all of my other times.
Okay.
Like one of the things that said finish it in 80 seconds or less, and I think I did it in 24. I was just like, oh, but that's because lunatic has trained me to be so much more ridiculous. So I'll probably do it on lunatic. I didn't intentionally not do it, but after I finished the game and then I got the secret ending And then I was like, I'm going to do my lunatic run. Maybe I'll just do it on that. I honestly haven't even cared about doing it. I just like, I'll try it once to get the things that I want to get. Yeah. And then I won't give a fuck if I make it or not.
So I was struggling on one of these challenges for a while. Bo was watching.
Which one?
Fuck, I don't even remember. I think it was like midway, like maybe like in the 20s, early 20s.
Was it like a laser challenge or a combat challenge? Like what kind?
Combat.
Okay.
It was combat one. And Bo like hit up my stream. He doesn't usually comment because he knows I'm like immersed, but he's like, do you want a mild trophy spoiler? And I go on mic and I'm like, you don't have to fucking 100% every one of these, do you? And he's like, no. And I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I had it spoiled willingly. He said, hey, that's a mild trophy spoiler. I was like, yeah, because dude, I think I was trying one for an hour and I was like, I just can't fucking do this. Yeah, I suck.
No, well, I would like to know which one because I could probably give you like. There's one.
I have to go back and look, but it was I think a challenge where it's just waves of enemies that you had to do in a specific time that I just wasn't clicking.
Well, there are two that I could see that might be a little confusing. One would be the one called Medic, I believe, where you have to get the enemy.
That's what it was. Okay. That's what it was.
Medic.
Yeah.
Fuck Medic.
No, Medic. Yes. Medic is so easy once you learn the mechanic. It's so fucking simple. Do you want me to just tell you right now?
Don't you have to hack the Medic bot and then it damages the bot underneath?
But you have to hack it when it's going to heal. Not before. Do it before. It just fucking that's the problem because the first time I did the same thing, I killed it right away, and I was like, how the hell am I supposed to get them to fight each other when I don't have confuse? Right. Like I just didn't understand it. So I ran around for a second and I shot all of them one time, except for the little medic. And as soon as it like went and started to hump the thing's head, then you hack it and it does a shit ton of damage. So what you want to do is leave that bastard alive while you're clearing out the rest, and then you can do so much damage so much faster.
Wow. Okay. The grid puts all the red nodes in it, that's when you hack it. Okay.
Yeah. And you can see it'll like spin and it'll do almost like a UFO type thing. On the bot. That's when you want to
start sealing it.
Yeah. Okay. You want to hack it then, and it'll just blow it up for a second and either kill it or do a bunch of damage, and then you can kill it that way because I think all you have to do is damage another bot with that thing. So the first time I 3-starred it, I did it with only using the medic hack one time, and then I manually killed the other things, and it was by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah.
And then I did it again today, actually, on lunatic difficulty, and it was a joke. It was over before it started. It was just like, this is easy now. But the other one is the one where you have to kill the baby-faced Demogorgon thing without letting the Demogorgon thing show up. No antenna. That one I could see being a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
But so if you need help with that one, 3-starring it, I'll give you my hints later. But we don't have to talk more about that on the spoiler cast. I'm sorry. That was very exciting that I knew exactly the one that you were having problems with. Yeah.
And apparently Bob's like, fuck that challenge. So you struggle with it too, Bob?
You did. That was the one that like I was like, that's the one that took me out of really like diving into the training missions.
Mm-hmm.
That was that's when I was like, I'm going to pull up because I'm not going to really, if I stress about it too much, I'm going to learn to hate this game, and I don't want to hate this game.
Same exact way. I was like, I unlocked them at the end of a play session. I was like, oh, cool. I'll jump into these the first thing on the next play session. And I did. And that's when Bo was on the stream. And I was like, he's like, play the fucking game. Stop doing this. And I was like, yeah, you're right. This is just pissing me off.
I could see that though. Cause I just did them as they all became available. And I 3-starred all of them until that very last one, again, because I just don't really give a shit, honestly.
Yeah.
But I do, if I was struggling on one, I would not have stayed with it. I would.
Now, if there was a trophy associated with it, you'd do it, just like all of us would.
I would do it because of how the rest of the game has gone. Like, I only have this lunatic one, and I thought, that sounds like it's actually going to be kind of a pain in the ass and hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I want to do that for the reasons Bob mentioned. Like, do I want to hate this game? But I was like, that's the only one I have left, and I actually kind of want to play the story again. So I'll just try it on Lunatic. If I can do it, great. If I can't, no big deal. I won't stress about it. And so far the most stressful thing. I will say, I'll just say it now. I think the balance is really bad because all they did was give enemies a stupid amount of health and a stupid amount of defense. So you're doing the same thing instead of doing it 3 or 4 times and getting that, oh, I succeeded. You have to do it like 40 to 60 times. And it's like, this is not a good design choice. You know, I mean, once you unlock more stuff, it's not as bad. But in the first bit, when all you have is a fucking pea shooter and the hacking doesn't do that much damage, and it doesn't matter how fast you can hack. They move faster, they hit stronger, whatever. Not to say that's easy to deal with, but for all intents and purposes, that's easy to deal with. It's just the small corridors, I think, were damn near perfectly annoyingly small for the first time through the game on the normal difficulty. On lunatic difficulty, I'm just like, there's just not enough room to deal with this bullshit. I mean, it's like, it's a battle of attrition instead of a mechanically fun thing to do.
And that was my concern, was you're going to just bullet sponge everything.
Yeah.
So is it like is it the Mark II versions, or do the enemies just literally have more health?
They just literally have more health. All of them.
Damn.
So even the Mark II versions, like once you get to the Mark II versions, it's like, really? Now, again, I've upgraded everything that I wanted to, and I've like figured out a good path through the game. Once I got the very first license and I could upgrade some things, it was like, oh, okay, now that I can play my way, it's a little bit better. Word of advice for anybody who wants to try it, though, I will tell you.
I do want to try it.
The way that I played, well, do you not want me to say anything then? Do you want me to just keep it to myself?
No, I want to hear tips and tricks. I considered like going back and playing through it again, but my only caveat was, I'm moving. I'm going to get my theater back. Sure. I think this game deserves a theater experience rather than headphones.
Does. And I would agree. Even the second time through, the third time through, for sure. But the one thing, the way that I play games, which is not always the smartest way to play games, I admit, but it does work for me. I tend to hoard instead of using the tools, because I'm like, there's always going to be a bigger boss around the next corner.
Sure.
And then by the time I get to the boss, I'm like, oh, I don't need this multi-hack. I don't need this confusion because it's a boss fight. These are fucking useless now. Why didn't I use it on this last fight? That was stupid. Now that I know the layout of the entire game, I know what to expect. And you know, there's not really that many surprises as far as a battle being different. It's
except
just
those invisible fucking spider bots.
I actually really like those on lunatic difficulty a lot. But I have been using everything that they give me as they give it to me and not really caring.
Gotcha.
And it has made it a lot easier and a lot more fun. Just because, you get a shockwave and you get a charge piercer and you're in one red room. Fuck it. I'm just going to burn all of them and survive.
Yeah.
The whole point is survival. So that's something that I would recommend. Don't hold your stuff. If it's there, use it. I mean, unless it's useless. Don't use a multi against one thing, obviously. But
okay.
That's a
testament. That's a testament to the game mechanics too. Like these are kind of like throwaway upgrades, and you can reprint whenever you want if you have a print station. But it's kind of cool. It encourages variety of combat, which I love.
Yeah, and I will say on the lunatic difficulty, you also get almost all of the weapons available earlier. So first area of the game,
you get that fucking rock digger
the jackhammer.
Jackhammer.
Yeah. I used it twice and I didn't really like it that much. Even though on lunatic difficulty, I've a few uses of it, but I don't want to tell you my exact lunatic build yet. Cause I want you to explore and have fun with it yourself at first, but you know where I live, you know my number if you need, if you want some pointers.
I'm going to show up at your house, knock on your door and be like, what build did you use, Caleb?
Do this for me right now.
I want some cupcakes.
But no, like you get the smart bomb, which I didn't really use that much. The smart bombs, I used them a few times.
Yeah, no, I didn't use it a lot.
More of a utility. When I found one in the first level of the game, I was like, I need that for the boss. I'm going to need that for his fight. So I kept it, and it was great.
Okay.
But yeah, it does, because of the way I play games, it doesn't make the game sour for me. But I absolutely understand that it would do that for a lot of people.
Gotcha.
Like Bob, I feel like if you're on the fence anyway, maybe don't but give it a chance. And if you're just like, this is stupid, just walk away from it and remember how great the game is. But for a gamer like me, it's really more of I want to play it again. Let me just try it. I know I probably can. if it gets so fucking stupid, I'll walk away and not care. It's been just on that cusp where I've been like, this is dumb. But for every time there's dumb, it's like, oh, but it's so good. So that's what's been keeping me going through it on Lunatic again.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
That's good. That's good to know, because that and I'm glad you said that, because now I really am in awe of board. Like I was kind of thinking, okay, maybe Lunatic difficulty would be fun, because I'd like to see how are they going to change up like enemy spawns and oh, now it's this, and oh, instead of one crawler, it's three crawlers or something like it. But if it's the same enemy patterns and they just got better defense and health, that's kind of cheating.
And they are faster. That's true. They are
okay.
faster.
All right. But it's still a little cheating. I want to see some of that variety and be like, hey, it's a remix of the combat, not just the same thing with extra stats. Because if I want to do that, I'm going to go play an RPG.
Yeah. That's when I started, I thought, oh, the first fight I'm going to do is a fucking samurai mob because I hate those. And it wasn't. And I was like, oh, it's just going to be the exact same thing, but like just more time consuming. That's really what the problem is that it just takes more time.
Okay.
And I'm probably still going to finish the Lunatic playthrough faster than I did the first time through the game.
Oh yeah.
Just because I am better at it now, but it's still just like, man, I could have done like a 2.5 hour run if these things weren't just bullet sponges. This is crazy. How just, why am I shooting you 600 fucking times when I can do it? Just get out, just die, get out of the way. And that I don't know, it's not as interesting as I wanted it to be, but that is me being very, very picky, because as we know, the game itself is just outstanding. It is outstanding. Incredible. It is perfectly done on the normal difficulty.
Yes. Yeah, it really is. Very well balanced. Where do we go next? We go to the tree.
Yeah, we go to the tree with the samurai mob, fucker.
With the samurai. And this is when you get the ping to show collectibles on the map, because I remember vividly, I was just pinging left and right. And I was like, ooh, be scandy. Ooh, be scandy. And I love the checklist for the collectibles on the map sections and the entirety of the map. Love my checklist. Love my little percentages. Just fucking scratches an itch in my brain.
Yeah.
Love that. But yeah, this sequence was cool. Kind of a very different variety of level, because it's more organic and you see just foliage everywhere. It's gorgeous. And then the tree is like half printed and the roots coming out half printed, and it's got really cool mechanics. So it's the trope where like, oh, central elevator, you got to get rid of the roots. Or in this case, print more roots to go up there. So yeah, this level was cool. And this is where we, well, what'd you guys think of the level? Did you like this one? Like level 3, what was it called? It's called, I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it was environmental control. I mean, not to be too generic, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a cool change of pace.
I very much liked it. I really liked, I mean, again, the dialogue between Hugh and Diana the entire game was awesome. But this one in particular, where she's like, wow, so beautiful. And he's explaining certain things about Earth to her. And I mean,
like, oh, you should see Earth.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you think this is beautiful? Like, I mean, he didn't say, let's go to Central Park, but he might as well.
Right.
And so she's just in awe as a child as they're going around. And I did think that some of the level design was a little more confusing than it needed to be. And part of that could have been my own problem. Like, you're going the A route or the B route. I didn't really understand it until about the third choice. Because I was thinking, am I going to a different place? Or am I going the same place a different way? And I didn't know, because I went the wrong direction and then I was locked behind lasers. I was like, well, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Can I ever go back? Like, I just didn't know. And when I did it again later, I realized that I was just being an idiot. So I feel like maybe that was a me problem, but eventually when it got to be slightly more linear again, I was like, this is really cool. And then you get to this little open area where you had to build the trees up with those little chips. Yeah. That was a neat little area. I really liked that area quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because I kept, like you said, ooh, piece of candy. I kept ADHD, and I'd go up part of the tree and be like, wait, what's that over there? And I would try to hover, and then I would fall and be like, fuck, how do I get up there? That was really fun. I thought that was a neat game choice. And that let Capcom,
oh, go ahead.
That let Capcom just flex a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
They could.
There were audio cues from Diana, too. She's like, oh, I sense an REM, or oh, I sense a mod. I wonder what it is.
It's close
so
by.
That was kind of cool. Yeah. There's a mod close by. Wonder what it does.
I think we should get it. What about you,
Yeah.
Bob? You like this level?
Yes. Terradome, by the way.
Terradome.
I had to go look. No, this I really liked it. Like you said, the change of pace that comes in because you're in a space station. We went to New York, and it's like, okay, how else? What else can we do to like really flex that muscle? And it was a little. The map design and layout was a little Dark Soulsy for me, where it's like. This way goes this way, but in order to get there, you've got to go this way. And then, like you said, Caleb, when I eventually did figure it out, and I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch, I'm locked by lasers. How do I go back?" Because that was my cue for whether I was on the golden path or whether I missed something. Was when I got to the shortcuts, the checkpoints, if you will, to go back to the shelter. And there's a couple of spots, particularly in the Terradome, where you get there and it's like, "Oh, there's the checkpoint. Oh, okay, I need to go back and get this," and you turn around and the door's locked. Or there's lasers or whatever, and it's like, well, fuck me.
Which I do appreciate because it does, I guess, enforce going back and re-exploring an older area to see with new abilities or new features. Like, oh, I missed this the first time through because I didn't really know what the fuck was going on. That happened a lot. When I went back to the first level, I felt like Jesus Christ because I was like, I'm finding all this shit, and how did I not find it the first time? And it was like not stuff locked behind new skills. It was just dumb Caleb the first time through the area. Right. But I like that they want you to replay it again. That's a cool.
Yes. That's the Metroid design element where I was like, oh, I'm coming back this level with a new tool, Metroid.
But there were times what Bob was talking about where you get the shelter shortcut.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, I'm going to turn around, and you can't. I did think, why can't you just open the fucking door? I know the thing is right on the other side. Like, why? Yeah. And then I'm going to forget about this later on. But to your point, Matt, earlier when you said the checklists, that was very helpful to know where I needed to revisit. Minus the mini cabins.
Yes.
I didn't realize the mini cabins weren't on there.
Yeah.
I felt stupid. And then when I found that last one and the trophy pop, I was like, oh, well, good. I don't need to look. So I don't need to use the internet. Yay.
But correct me if I'm wrong. The Terradome was the area where you come around as you're coming out of the woods and you go around the corner and there's like the beach there.
Yeah, that sequence.
That
was fucking awesome. I loved it. Beautiful, gorgeous. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Great cutscene, great visuals, great just overall feeling when you were doing it. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And it was when you found out, Diana has a love for the beach, and she's like, this is where I want to go. And just the HDR, everything sings in that sequence. So yeah, it was like a section that was mimicking the beach on Earth. It was just gorgeous, and
with the sunset and everything, or the sunrise, one of the two. And the way they did that lighting, and it got orange. And like if you listen to the audio before you go into the tunnel that takes you to the beach, you've got the typical synth wave kind of going on, and then as you come out and you hit that beach, it got really calm. Like it fit the mood, and it was dynamic, and it was so well appreciated.
You could hear the
audio design,
and that was it.
Yeah,
and it was just, at first I was nervous. I thought, oh God, what bad thing is about to go down? Because this is gorgeous. And I played Death Stranding. Fuck, what's going to happen? So I was very pleasantly surprised when it wasn't a nightmare. It was just a nice moment. It reminded me a lot of the giraffes in Last of Us.
Oh, yes.
Joel and Ellie stop for the giraffes. And it's like the calm before the storm, where they're like, this is a moment of peace. You're all about to get fucked. Like it reminded me of that very much. Not quite as bad, not quite as in your face, getting steamrolled, but I was nervous and then very, very pleasantly surprised.
Yep. So the pitter patter, the sound design of in the shelter, where you always know where Diana is because you can hear her little fucking footsteps. That's so funny and cute.
With surround sound, it's amazing.
Oh yeah,
it really is just amazing.
I played this mostly with my Astros, so I'm excited to play on my Sonos 9.2 system.
That's awesome.
So
This is that game, by the way, Matt, where when you handed me your sound bar, that Sonos, you're like, oh, the low roar, there's something wrong. And I was like, no, there isn't. This game, I was like, especially in the beginning with the spaceship, I was like, oh, there it is.
You hear it. Okay.
But it's only under very specific situations. Like I played Hades 2, I played Dragon Quest 7, I played a lot of these and no issues.
Hades 2 is not surround sound. It is stereo.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So,
but
there's a blown driver.
Like, oh.
There's a blown driver in that sound bar. I warned you that when you hit a specific frequency, it just rattles, and I couldn't take it. I was like, so. But you needed one, and it's working out, so that's cool.
Yeah, I've played like 5 games since Pragmata, and I haven't noticed it since. We're good.
Cool. All right, good deal. Speaking of getting fucked by a boss, this was one of the first deaths, I think, was this fucking scorpion boss. But it's the coolest boss in the game.
It's so cool, right?
It's so fucking cool. The design is amazing, like all the hands on the tail and everything. And then when you drop in and it like crawls from the ceiling, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. So
it felt
laser
like
tail.
It felt like a Metroid boss fight.
Oh yeah,
a Metroid Prime kind of boss fight.
Yeah,
it did, like a really good one, a really good Metroid boss fight.
Yes, a good one.
Not a Beyond.
One of the good ones. There are many.
There it is. Keep baiting him.
Beyond had some pretty good ones. Okay. Yeah. No, I hear you.
Not like this. This one was so good.
Not like this.
Why do you think I sent you that video instead of the second boss? I was like, everybody, this is the one. That boss is awesome. So watch me murder it very quickly.
Immediately after that boss, I went to the bestiary and I was like, I gotta look at this fucking thing. And I like just inspected it. And I love how in the bestiary you can hit triangle and it opens and it shows the opening animation for it. Which is really cool, but this boss is just wicked looking. So you can tell the robots or the AI designed by the humans, and then the AI designed by Edis. It's just like some nightmare, like nightmare fuel. So yeah, it was awesome. I love this boss.
When it got on the ceiling, when it was crawling on the wall, and had its tail lasers going across. That was really neat. And of course, Diana the whole time, she's like, watch out, it's up on the walls. Like, she just saying,
dude, I love the audio cues.
Thank you for helping me because I don't know where the fuck it is. Like, that helped a lot on the lunatic fight, if I'm being honest.
I bet.
Running around. Because it had 6 billion fucking health.
Oh, shit.
Actually, I killed it pretty fast, but still.
You gentlemen reminded me, sorry. I know you guys covered it. I can tell I know what my least favorite general enemy was in the entire game.
What?
Those stealth guys can eat a bag of dicks. Whole bag of dicks.
Yeah.
Especially when
in that challenge.
I was about to say that.
Grabs you and just failed.
And I'm like, what? No. And then it felt like I'm screaming because I'm like, is it me? Is it the game? Because there'd be times where I see it and I'm like, cool. I go to dodge and it still hits me and grab me. And I'm like, fuck.
Yep. Dude, I used the riot gun on those like crazy. It's like, you're down. You're down. And they were glass cannons. So,
all right, Matt.
Very cool designs.
I did this to you earlier, so now I'm going to do it to Bob.
Okay.
They can grab you. I just needed to see what he would say.
If you don't dodge the right direction, it's still in your hitbox, so you'll dodge, but then you're still in that hitbox, and then it grabs you.
You know the shield impact, whatever the fuck that's called, the support thing, or the down, the defense thing. I think I just got lucky the first time I ever ran into one because I threw one down. I saw this like a chameleon looking thing. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I shot at it. And then, like a number 1 and a 2 popped up and it didn't appear. So I just chucked a thing down, like, what's it going to do? And then it came up and was like, clunk, and flew back. And I thought, never going to get near those motherfuckers. So I did not get grabbed. And I did not know that until lunatic difficulty because one just snuck up behind me. I was like, oh my God. So just today, actually, that happened just today. But my first playthrough, didn't know they could grab you at all. Had no idea. Just melted those bitches. But that was, again, I think that was kind of dumb luck because of my over panicking of like, what is it going to do?
Right.
And, yeah. But the design of those is really cool. Like I really like how they open up, I guess, for lack of a better description, when you don't break them, and then they have their weak spot on their back is that big round,
yes,
I don't know, whatever the hell it is.
Is that the battery? Who knows?
Yeah, sure. And then, like you said, Matt, I did use the riot gun on them a lot.
Oh yeah.
After the first,
knock those fuckers down.
Yeah, when I'd see them being invisible, I'd be like, "Fuck this!" Just watch them all fly. Yep. It was great.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So many different. I know. Caleb will do that to you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him one day.
One day.
Yeah, you will. You will.
Yeah. The enemy variety in this game was awesome. Those ones that have a shield that when you hack them, you gain the shield. So cool.
Oh
so
yeah.
cool.
I don't remember what they're called, but those things were really neat. They were shield flingers, whatever the fuck.
There's a trophy associated with it.
There is a trophy.
If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to go look at it. And I got it by complete accident because it wasn't that I wasn't aiming for it, but that I just so happened to hit him with a confuse when he had the shield out. Yeah. And then I was like, pop, and I was like, oh, hey, there you go.
Can I borrow that? I think that's the trophy.
I think that's what it is.
Again,
it is.
Dumb memory for shit. I can't remember the bot's fucking name, but I remember the trophy's name. Because it popped up when I did it. Again, it's kind of like you. It just happened. I didn't plan for it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Dude, I would always find those holo walls, those fake walls. I was pretty good in finding those. I'm bummed there wasn't a trophy associated with finding all that stuff, because that little like storyline for I forget her name was pretty cool. Every time you would find the fake walls. Yeah. How the fuck do you remember that?
Again, why do I remember that? And I can't remember the bot. Yeah. I mean, it was cool reading all those and finding her ultimate story. I thought that was neat.
The trophy description is: confuse a certain enemy and borrow its shield. Cool. Barrier bot, whatever we're going to call it.
There was also those documents, Caleb, because you mentioned the hollow walls, like her experience and throughout that. First I'll say it reminded me of, and you wouldn't know this, Matt. You might, Caleb. It reminded me of The Cake Is a Lie.
Oh yeah,
I played Portal.
Yes.
All right.
Oh.
All right.
Well, I didn't know if you would have played Portal either. Like,
I wasn't sure, but yeah, the Cake Is a Lie kind of stuff. That's what it reminded me of. Because I don't remember the name of the character, but it was always hiding in the walls, writing weird shit and descriptions.
Yeah. Those walls.
Environmental storytelling is what I consider that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Let's see. Yeah. After that boss, we go back to shelter. Let's talk about the REMs. So first of all, when you first find one, you're like, what the fuck is this thing? They show it in like behind a glass wall, and it like it's a holographic picture of Earth, and you're like, oh, that's a collectible. Well, the fuck is it? I need to know. And then it's like a scripted story sequence that you get your first one, and you're like, okay. Go back to shelter. Then you start building them up, and then you realize, oh, there's sections. And then like when you get all of them in a specific section, it creates a whole fucking like printable house,
like a scene. It was really cool.
A scene, house or playroom or beach or sandbox or outside. It was so cool, and
whatever
I loved
the theme
it.
was. It was
yeah. And Diana could interact with all of them. It was just cute as hell. Sometimes I'd just like go up and view, and then she'd like pitter pat, be like, oh, Diana's coming over to check it out. What's she gonna do now?
I want to catch it. I want to catch it. You just look over and she's fucking trying to catch a butterfly. You're like, oh, I want you to catch it. You're just watching her the whole time. It's so good.
Exactly.
The water gun.
One of my favorites. One of my favorites. She's like, bang, bang. And he's like, rawr. Goes in first person.
Yes.
So good.
I laughed out loud for a majority of them. One, she's got the basketball and she says, you catch, and just hits you and knocks you over. And she just runs over and she's nervous. Like, are you okay? Then, great shot, kiddo, or whatever. Great pass, kiddo. It was just a neat little thing. I love the one with the skateboard. It's one of my favorites. When she's on the skateboard and she gets up and takes it away. The slow look towards the camera, towards you after you hear the crash sound of her. Yeah. That was one of the funniest visual gags in that game. Mm-hmm. Every time I go back to the shelter and she's on a skateboard, I will watch that scene again. I will do it every time because it's wonderful. Yeah.
And I wonder if they were scripted or what triggered them, but her drawings, she would give you little drawings and then put them. I know. It's just like, oh my God. Sketchbook, the demo, like gave you a specific drawing depending how you played the game. And I think there were like 9 different drawings. They didn't carry over to the base game, which is a bummer, but I wonder what scripted that. I think there were 4 in total. And I ended up getting all of them. And I think they're scripted maybe throughout the game, like in sequence. I don't know, but they were cute as hell. So
I know I got 4. I think you're right. I think 4 is it.
Yeah. I think because they depict like certain scenes throughout the storyline. So that would make sense after a certain point and be like, here you go, Hugh. But yeah, the first here, I made this adorable. For you. I was like, oh God damn it. I will burn the world for you.
Yeah. her little eyes are like looking over the pictures like, hey, it's for you. I'm just like, oh, why? So why are you doing this to me, Capcom?
One of the best compliments I can give this game, I think, again, on a much earlier cast, I think I told you guys, some of my friends, when they ask for different recommendations or whatever, one of my friends who doesn't really like action games that much, I had recommended God of War, the PS4 God of War, and then Horizon Zero Dawn. I said, you love science fiction. Horizon Zero Dawn is a game that you will love. But please try God of War out. And I had told him that it was my favorite first party for that console generation was God of War, the PS4 God of War, which might surprise people. But Horizon Zero Dawn, I believe, was in a close second in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
But when I was talking to him and giving him the reasons that I loved it, I said, Kratos, whatever, the story, whatever, it's great. But the reason that I loved the original, the new God of War is because it made me want to have a son.
Yeah.
Which is so weird to say. This game, the biggest compliment I can give it is this game made me want to have a daughter.
Yep.
Like 1,000%. I was like, I want to experience that he was experiencing. That is such a good and I mean, maybe that's horseshit because obviously in this game you get most of the good stuff, and in God of War, Atreus was a little shit, so you got to see some of the bad stuff. But it didn't matter because the pure unbridled joy and curiosity of a child that she depicts in this game was just perfect. And the reason I'm saying this now is because you're talking about the drawings. You're talking about her when she says, thanks for always talking to me and sharing stuff. And then she hands you this fucking picture and you're like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God. You just feel so it moved, I guess, is the best word that I could use to describe it. And I kind of hope if people are on the fence about playing this game, and they're listening to the spoiler cast because they don't care about spoilers, I hope that doesn't dissuade you. If you say, oh, fuck that, I don't want kids, don't let that dissuade you because, I mean, the good news is if you don't want kids and you really hate it, you can always turn it off. Can't do that with real children. But with this, I really felt that way when I was done. And still on the second playthrough, I'm just like, that's one of the best things that they have ever been able to do. Capcom, when I say they just, how? Because I was never really interested in kids, and then God of War made me interested. Weirdly, in a fucking, I don't know why that would do it, but it did.
Yeah.
And then this one was the same thing. Like, damn, that is so. Yeah. And I know Matt, you and I don't have kids, so I wanted to ask Bob: is that a little bit of the truth? Like when your kids were really little, and they would piss you off, but then they would do this one awesome thing that made you like, oh man, I'm so glad that I have this child in my life. Did they get really close to that, or did they nail it with Pragmata?
They 100% did.
Awesome.
It is a nailing because when you're dealing with small children, you're dealing with that early development. Yeah. You want to beat your head against the wall, but you can't. So it's like there's a source of frustration in my life, and you're like, why the ever living fuck am I doing this? And then there's that moment, and that one moment makes it just completely, you forget every reason why you even are frustrated, why you're tired, why you're worn out. So when she brings you here, I made you something, thanks, and she's like really proud of this and is giving giving something that's truly genuine. It's a picture that literally has no monetary value, but it has such a personal connection and meaning of that truthness that kids are honest and they want it, and they're generous, even though sometimes they can be little shits. They're really at time, especially during that early era. Those are the moments that really get you through it.
Because
and
you
that's
also,
one of those.
you know that they're telling the truth because they don't really have an ulterior motive or a filter. They don't. I mean, maybe some sociopathic child might, like a Damien or some shit, but no. Generally speaking, they don't. So that's why, because when they're being shits, it's because no filter. They don't give a fuck. They're just gonna pout because I'm not getting my way. But when they do that really sweet thing, it means something. And in this game, I was really surprised because, again, we know in the very beginning she's an android. It wasn't like we found that out at the end and it was a surprise. You know that going in, and so you might be like, I'm not going to get emotionally attached to her. Oh, look what she did for me. Like you do somehow very, very quickly. And that to me is just, how did Capcom do that? That's such a cool, those monsters. How did they make me feel?
Right? And that's the hallmark of the true hallmark of this game. Is like the gameplay and the uniqueness is great. But when you like you think about God of War, like you said, God of War 2016, 2018, 2016.
I thought it was 16, but that might be Doom 2016. Whatever. The fucking God of War first one on the PS4.
and like I'm glad you really appreciate Atreus. Personally, I fucking hated him.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Throughout the entire series. He was so self-serving. It was like he was there to try to break open the cold-heartedness of Kratos, right?
Yeah.
You turn around and he was not necessarily a cold-hearted individual. He's just literally an individual who's like, I never really wanted kids. And you find out because he was an orphan, and then you're kind of like, oh, I get it. It makes sense. He really didn't want kids of himself because of his own past.
Yeah.
So this wasn't a character that was a set piece to try to drive a different character's emotional growth. This was natural. It felt natural. And there's a big distinction there that I think elevates Pragmata's storytelling better, at least when you're talking about this parent-child dynamic, better than any other game I've played, period.
Yeah, no, this like, I mean, not being a parent, this takes the cake for me by far. So easily. I was very curious as a parent if it was the same for you, and I'm glad to hear that it is.
There's only one other like parent-child dynamic that
Death Stranding 2.
Yep.
Yes, yeah. And then the third one. Neither one of you know this one, but go fucking play Metaphor ReFantazio. That's all I gotta say.
I know you guys are gonna kill me for this. It's digitally on sale right now for like 50% off. I thought about actually buying it, but I mean, I'm not going to put it before Hades 2 or Saros. No way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to play it. I absolutely want to play that game. I just saw it on sale and I was like, fuck, I kind of need that at 50%.
Yeah, there's a character in there. It's a parent thing, and I'll leave it like that. And it's easily my favorite storyline. But yes, all of that to say, Pragmata tops them all. Death Stranding 2 was short behind, and that's why I'm sitting here going in June going, Pragmata is fucking game of the year right now.
Yeah. Well, with these kids, like, you're their entire world, right? And Hugh is Diana's entire world. And I just love the dynamic and the growth between them, because Hugh sees Diana as a tool from the get-go. So he's like, oh, this is AI. She can open these bots. All right, jump on my back. I need you to survive. But then he actually starts really getting attached to her like a daughter, which was a really cool dynamic to see evolve.
Yeah, it's not to be too. I gotta say this, but not to be too personal, because I gotta set this up. Is the thing between Hugh and Diana, and this will be relatable to any other parents out there under a very specific set of circumstances. Like you said, Caleb, I'm interested in kids. That'd be something that I know you would discuss, and we'd be planned out things like that, right? Sure. Spoiler: not all of my kids were in that.
Sure.
Right.
That bucket, particularly the first one. And this is this is not something that I wanted, but I've got to fucking tackle it. And Q's character growth in that relationship with Diana felt very natural and paralleled a lot of my first children's upbringing as an early kid.
Wow.
It's unreal what they did. Like there's being parent, and then there's being parent when you weren't expecting to be parent, and Hugh nailed it.
Yeah.
Fucking 100%.
It really, I mean, it wasn't quite the same as you were. The next day, a kid just showed up at your house and was like, "Hey, I'm yours now."
Yeah.
But very similar to Hugh, where he wakes up and he's like, "Who the fuck? What is this? what is this?" Not even, I didn't make this child. Like, you at least knew a little bit going in, but it's still very, very surprising. And I mean, I didn't know you then, so I'm not going to assume that you weren't ready. But who really is ready? Nobody's ever ready for kids. You just never, that's something you can prepare all you want, and it's just never going to be what you expect it to be. That's part of the magic. As an outsider, as an observer, I can say that. But in this game, it felt very natural. Like you said, very organic. They just clicked when they weren't supposed to click. And then all of a sudden you can tell that he is doing right by her because she's picking up some of his habits, and which we could talk about at the end of the next level, because it's my second favorite quote of the game. I love when you beat the worm, the Luna Digger. So yeah, when we get to that point, but it's really, really neat to hear from a parent how accurate this was, as far as raising
it is
for being, just a bite-sized version of it. It's not like you go through 20 years of this child, but still it's enough to latch onto.
Yeah, it gives you the best parts, those heartwarming moments. It doesn't give you the underneath the little really crappy days that you do have, the Atreus issues, if you will. But those highlight moments, those peaks that hit the mountain, 100%. Felt it every time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we're basically there. We're at my favorite level in the game.
This is your favorite. Okay.
It was
the Luna Mines. Is that right?
Luna Mines. Yeah. Because we get some callbacks to Dead Space. We go zero grav, and just the sound design, everything goes into a vacuum. The platforming changes. You're basically floating around. This is like, you're like, oh, we're on the moon. This is how it's going to act on the moon. So yeah, my favorite level for sure, because it goes real like Dead Space. You're out in the vacuum of space. All the things are muffled. They just did an incredible job. You go out and you can actually see Earth not through a window, and you're just like, huh. This was probably one of my favorite vistas, because you can actually see like Earth. I mean, you're seeing through your visor, but
still,
you can just, holy shit. They really nailed, like, I got a little cold because I was in space. I was like, they nailed the feeling.
It's so funny you say that. So I did the Luna Mines on my Lunatic playthrough today.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a little colder here today in Ohio than it has been the last week. But I put on a blanket when I was out, because I was out. I felt the same thing. It just, there's something about the way it felt. It was raining today, so it probably was legitimately a little colder down in the basement.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm in space. I could just snuggle up and just do my thing. That was nice.
That's really funny. And this is because it's my brain is, and I don't want to ruin the experience for you guys. I'm sorry, but I got to say it anyways, is we associate space with cold. Like you see that in the characters, like, but that's actually not the biggest threat when you're in space.
Right. It's less no air, or
because of the lack of air means you don't have the molecules to move, which means you actually are in threat of overheating.
Yeah.
Okay.
We assume.
Yeah.
We are closer to the sun sometimes when we're on the moon, right? You can't really be in the direct sun on the moon. Right. I think it's a huge radiation problem. Scientifically, I believe that is true. Even if you have the right suit, I think you would probably develop horrible cancer very, very quickly because of the amount of radiation. But I am not an official scientist. I'm pretty sure that's correct. But when we think of things like space, outer space, it's not necessarily right next to the sun or surrounding Earth. When I think of space, I think of like the Expanse. They're out in the middle of fucking nowhere on some crashed moon mining shit, and it is very potentially cold. out there. But Bob is absolutely right, where you are more at a risk of overheating because of the way things work. Again, weird science, but
laws of thermodynamics. My fucking science brain.
Void, void of everything, and that makes you feel cold.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And well, when you get your spacesuit off and you have bare skin, you freeze, right?
Crystalline. Yeah. Well, unless you're depends where the sun is. It really depends where the sun is.
It really depends.
Most of the crystallization and freezing is not because of cold. It's I don't know the proper terms, and I'm sure if you ever had a real scientist listen to this, they would tell me how wrong I am. But I'm pretty sure it's like the vacuum is just sucking all of the whatever out of your body, because your body's always trying to maintain some form of equilibrium.
Sure.
Like when it's got a virus, a bacteria, whatever, we vomit because it's trying to expel whatever the problem is. We shiver because when we fever, because we want to, when you're cold, you shiver to try to warm up, to heat, to make those molecules move faster. So when your bare skin is exposed in outer space, I believe it's a form of equilibrium where the body's trying to do something and it just fails because it can't. I don't know the proper terms for it, but it's not pleasant. I don't like thinking about it, because when our ozone goes, we're all fucked. We're all going to die that way.
Let's all go to the moon and live with you and Diana.
Okay.
Sure. I'd be down for that.
She's a goddess of the moon. Let's do it.
That's true. Selene is also goddess of the moon, in Greek. But yeah, we get introduced to the Luna Digger, and it's Luna Diggers, I'd say.
Yeah.
And we're at the mine because they've been mining lunum, which is the raw form of limb, which is the material used to basically create and print all this shit.
The Luna
and that's
filament,
why we're on Luna filament. Yeah. So that's why it's Luna filament and then limb, and then they print with that. And that's why we're on the moon, because we found a substance that can basically mimic any sort of material if it's put into a specific state. And that's why we're mining this, and we're in the mines, and there's AI machines that are basically trimmer worms.
When earlier when I had started Pragmata and you guys were asking how far I got, and I was trying to be very, very nondescript, cryptic with my responses, I was expecting you guys to ask me after I beat that level, like, how far are you? And I was just going to say Dune.
Yes.
It's like they wouldn't have a fucking clue until you got there. They'd be like, oh, that's what he meant. But you never asked, so I never got to use that. But still, such a cool mechanic and design. Just, I mean, the first time you run into it, you're just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about this thing? And you find out that was what would cause the earthquake earlier in the beginning of the game. And one of the things, I should say.
Right.
But that design was so cool. And the fact that they could make it work flawlessly isn't the right word, but when it pops out of the ground and it's not causing horrible frame issues, it's not just flipping into a bunch of shit. It's just like there's this giant fucking metal bot worm on the moon, and it's after you. It's just not great. It's awesome, but it's not great.
Yeah.
You would have said Dune, but I would have said Tremors.
That's why Tremor worm. Yeah.
Well, Tremors, you think of the earthquake in the beginning of the game, like the moonquake in the beginning of the game. So that's why I was going to go Dune, but
Moonquake. Moonquake. As soon as I saw these, I went into the bestiary. Again, I'm a bestiary whore. I go in and I read all the things, and I'm like, "Oh, what's this enemy?" It's probably one of the most detailed enemies designs I've ever seen, and I've seen Horizon enemies.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I looked at it and I had to look twice. I was like, holy shit, what is going on here? All the gears moving, and incredible. Very, very cool level too. And it's a pretty linear level, and you go in and out and in and outside of the moon. So a lot of cool collectibles here. And this was my favorite level. So just because it's such a change and dynamic, and this is what I feel like a Moon game needed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I would agree. The little grab really that like the ability to like so even when you first get in and then Diana's like, oh, we're going to the surface, and Hugh, if you listen to the dialogue, he says, yeah, I'll be able to basically propel farther with my jets, but we're not going to be able to control as much. And you're like, oh, they're kind of eluding that environmental storytelling, as Caleb said. I could see. Yeah, I'd say this probably. I probably agree with you, Matt. This was, when it comes to pure level design, this was probably my favorite as well.
It's another thing. Again, all props to Capcom, because it's so hard in a lot of video games. You want to be given the tools to succeed, but you don't also want to feel like, oh man, I can't do this thing because I don't have the tool. With the exception of some of the Metroid stuff, like, oh, I can't get behind this wall because I don't have the tool. That's totally different. Right. Feeling like I can't play the game because I don't have the tool. That's not a good feeling. Right? It's just that's a bad design choice. But what I think is harder to do is to keep the player engaged almost as though they're learning something new throughout the game without making them feel like, oh, I haven't been able to play the game until the last boss. That's so hard to balance. I don't know how developers can really do that well. And actually, one of the games that I give props for, even though I do have my problems, Final Fantasy Remake. And it's not just because of Final Fantasy, but when you play through the game the first time, that's the tutorial. The real game is when you play it on hard mode, because you now have all the tools you need. You have your materia, you have your weapons, you have your slots.
Is Rebirth the same?
Yeah. Your weapons level up in Rebirth when you beat bosses or when you do new things on hard mode. But for really, you've learned how to play the game. Now you can just fucking play it. I think Rebirth and Remake did a really good job with that. But what Capcom did even better here, I will say even better, they took a mechanic that they had that you learned how to platform, you learned how to use your hover, your thrusters, and they made it tight enough and loose enough early in the game where, I mean, nobody platformed perfectly the first time. You jump and you might float a little too far. You'd be like, oh, I got to get used to these fucking things, right? By the time you're through level 3, through stage 3, the Terra Dome, you're pretty fucking great at it. Stage 4, instead of introducing a new combat mechanic, they introduce a whole new, like, well, now your traversal's fucking different, and it's going to go back and forth when you're inside and outside, because fuck you. But they do it in such a way that you're not mad about it. And now, when I got there today, when I got to stage 4 again, the Luna Mines, and I immediately clicked. I was like, oh, I'm outside. Now I have to do it this way. No, I'm inside. Now I got to do it this way. You just get a feel for it very, very quickly. And I really, really can't praise Capcom enough for making it easy and difficult at the same time, because it's just adding a new element to learn without making you feel like you're doing homework. And that is so cool. I did how, when it was happening, I thought the first time through, it was like, how did you guys do this and make me not hate you for it? You know, because when you finally master platforming in a game, you don't want to learn new platforming. That sounds terrible. But in this, you did. You're like, yes, I'm on the surface now, and I can float a little further and jump a little further. And Diana says, sounds like an upgrade to me. Like, that was just all of it was so clever.
And they just
the vistas. Duh. You already so good.
Yeah. And they hid collectibles, like they tuck collectibles away everywhere, where you're like, I got to go across this surface, but I'm going to get fucking mutilated by this mechanical worm. But I really wanted that chest.
Did we all just hop every time when you're jumping where the worm is to hope that he didn't hear you? You're just hopping across the moon. Like, that was just such a cool. You're not really scared, but you do have your butt puckered a little bit the whole time. It's just like, he's coming.
Hole for sure.
It was a run as fast as you can, and then like you get to a small platform section, you're like, oh, there's a collectible there, but I've got to battle through these different robots, and then you're trying to balance that combat. And I'm a dodge guy, so I was dodging left and right, while trying to avoid getting back onto the surface, because then the worm's going to come out and eat your ass.
It was crazy. We forgot to touch on one critical story point in the last level. Meeting 8.
Yeah. I figured we'd talk about it after this, just because we could talk about her all at once because of what happens after this.
Exactly.
So I thought you did it on purpose, so you shouldn't have said anything.
I did. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, this stage was so fun. Pretty linear, very vertical too. There's a lot of verticality to it. But
For
yeah,
sure.
we get to the end and we finally fight this bitch. And it's a long fight, but it's gorgeous. And the set piece is stellar. So speaking of, I got some very big vibes on Stellar Blade on this game, of Stellar Blade on this game. Honestly, like I kept getting the vibes of Stellar Blade and Death Stranding, of course. But yeah, just a side note. But this boss was fun.
It was very fun. Did you guys do all of the mechanics the way you were supposed to, or did you just keep trying to hack
bots where they go back and they damage them? Yes.
Bob?
I did it when they were available, but like
right.
I was just hack the whole time.
Yeah.
But you're right. When I finally did it on accident because I was trying to hack the worm, and then I accidentally hit the one thing, and it was complete press circle or something like that at instinct. And then it was like, oh, boom. And I'm like, oh, hey, this fight got a little easier at least.
Yeah. If they were in my line of sight, I would get them.
I didn't. Oh, okay. I think I hit one because I just was avoiding them. I didn't really know. I mean, she even tells you like, oh, I could try to hack them or whatever. And I was like, but I'm hacking this thing. Like I just didn't bother. And then eventually I did it once and I was like, oh, that would have made it so much easier. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
So on lunatic difficulty, I believe I shot about 40 of those back at that motherfucker. I was just like, give me your children so I can kill you with them. But, yeah, that made it a lot easier actually.
This is where I loved and used the hell out of the piercer. I would open them up and just hold that charge, be like, bow, and just cool. Big number go burr.
Big number do go burr.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this just a huge boss and I don't know. It was a pretty big arena. It was a circular arena, but it felt pretty tight. So yeah, loved it.
Well, so when
Bob, did you like this boss?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, because you love the piercer, and the piercer. I mean, the piercer is pretty much crucial for this boss.
See, I didn't try it with the piercer, but this was the one where I was just constantly doing the primary. This was at the point in the game where I was primary weapon and then defense and a utility. Like when I say I didn't use the red weapons, I did not fucking use the red weapons. I played this game on hard mode. Self-induced, by the way. So I hated this fight because it takes forever to bring it down unless you're using, like you said, the charge cannon, right?
Yeah.
Do it naturally. This is a 5 to 10 minute battle easily.
Oh yeah, it took a lot longer when I did it. It took me longer on my normal playthrough than it did on my lunatic playthrough because I didn't use the thing. I mean, when I went back and fought the Mark II version, that bitch died so fast. It was a joke. Oh, yeah. but the probably fastest, and then lunatic was second fastest. And first time was a battle of attrition. I mean, I used the charge piercer, but not that much because I preferred to hack it and get it to overheat and falls for me to,
That's how I played the entire game. Was like just hack it, overheat it, and then go hit it with a crit. Which is why I also hated those fat things.
Oh yeah.
Because a crit, they had so much health. A crit was like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, right. I did like the idea of uppercutting them, but yeah. No, so when you beat the boss, my second favorite interaction in the game, it might be my favorite interaction. I don't know. Was just Hugh goes, "Hell yeah," and she goes, "Hell yeah!" It was just so awesome, so adorable. And it was, I wasn't mad that a 6-year-old swore. I was like, yes, you learned from your dad, your pseudo dad. I was just so proud of her when she said that. It was another genuine moment of she was learning from Hugh. She was not just an android, like a child learning from a parent. It was just a really, really in a simple interaction. Just yes. And
that's probably my favorite. That's my favorite line.
Yeah, it's so good.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that one. That's a good one. Yep. Yeah. So
do you want to touch on 8 since we're done with Lunar Mines and then after we go up the central elevator in the Terra Dome area, we meet what is basically a twin of Diana. They look she's like flayed on this tree is pinned her against this thing, and she's just like, "Oh, help me!" I mean, she was a cat earlier. She was taking over a cat to talk to you, which was weird Capcom, but whatever, it's fine. Like because video game. Video game. But she is basically telling you guys to do this thing because she wanted to go back to Earth. She needed to go to Earth. She didn't tell us why. And he was just like, "Oh, I wonder what she needed to go to Earth for." And Diana basically tells you in the third stage, she asks you very nicely, "We have to rescue 8, right?" And Hugh earlier in the game would have said, "Fuck that shit. I'm going to just call Earth home and be like, yo, dog, Delphi's an asshole and shit went wild. Save me." But he's gotten attached to Diana so much that he says, "All right, we'll do this. We'll help 8." And they're talking a little bit like, "Why do you guys look like twins? Why are you the same, but you're not the same? Why is her name 8? Why?" And anyway, so we're introduced to this character that I don't want to call her a MacGuffin, but at that point in the game, it's like, oh, okay, it's just a way to maybe get us to play a little bit more, to go to areas that you would never really naturally go to. So I will kick it over to you, Matt, as to why she's so important, especially after the Luna Mines.
Yeah. Who's the scientist? What's his name? Who created him? The Pragmata.
Was it Higgins?
Oh, that sounds correct.
Sounds wrong, but it also sounds right. What is
Higgins? It is Higgins.
Is Dr. Higgins?
Higgins. Yeah, Higgins. He modeled 2 of these Pragmata after his daughter, Daisy. And 8 is the newer model because Daisy was older. And the reason,
and Diana was a failure, but not really. Like she wasn't doing what she was supposed to, according to the doctor.
And that's kind of touched. And Diana's like, "Oh, I'm a failure," and he's like, "No, you're awesome.
I'm useless." That's what she keeps saying. Useless, which broke my fucking heart. By the way, I was just like, "You're not useless, god damn! I'm gonna kill that doctor." I was so mad.
Exactly. Yeah, his daughter gets cancer on Earth, and he wants to save her. So he looks into creating these Pragmata to find a cure. And Diana was the first Pragmata, modeled off of Daisy, who was 6 years old, and 8 is the second Pragmata, modeled off of Daisy when she was 8 years old, shortly before she died. Right?
Yeah. And that's Higgins was on the moon doing that research. That's why he was on the moon for most of the stay.
Exactly. And Delphi, the corporation, killed Daisy. Right?
Yeah, they were. It was a test. Serum or whatever it was, a test application, and it was supposed. I mean, actually, so when we learned that it was supposed to be tested on a different subject, I was like, "So you were okay with just like killing somebody else?" That's a little fucked up, but I kind of get it for your own daughter or whatever. Like but I did think, I was like, this guy's kind of an asshole anyway. Dr. Higgins, but Delphi ended up giving that test administration, serum or whatever, to Daisy, and didn't fucking tell Dr. Higgins that, and it killed her, or she died because it just didn't work. Like, we don't really know, because he kind of went bonkers after that. And
he had incredible guilt from it that he wasn't there. I think Wife was a similar situation, and he wasn't there. He was on the moon when she died too. So dude, super smart dude, incredible guilt. And he basically creates the anti-Luna filament, which creates the corruption.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then he kind of goes crazy, and he's like, "Fuck everyone, fuck everything. I want to destroy Earth." So 8, your new objective is to take this, what's it called?
Yeah, I was going to just say the corruption, the black
corruption.
Black goo is all Hugh keeps calling it.
The black goo.
There is one thing that made me, it's hard to have a villain that's not just meh and is also interesting. That's really hard to do. One of the things that some of the subtext I got out of it with Higgins was not necessarily like murder everybody on Earth, but they didn't want to fund trying to figure out how to fix the problem, what killed his daughter and what is killing a lot of people. So he thought, if I send it to Earth and it's a problem, then they'll have to fucking fix it. They'll have to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it's not just that he's like, Hitler. He's not space Hitler. He's not moon Hitler. But he did. I mean, he wasn't a good guy either. At the end, he looked at it a little bit more like a scientist would, where he said, "Okay, they're not going to spend money on this. Well, fuck them. They're going to have to if I take it home."
And maybe there was a document that I'm forgetting because that's not the way I remember it.
Yeah.
Higgins learned about his daughter, but by that point he was just angry with the world, and he was angry with Delphi. But what actually ended up killing him was the dead filament. Like
dead filament.
Dead filament.
Dead filament. He was contaminated with the dead filament as part of the experimentation. So he died in the lab as a bitter man, and 8 interpreted that as
you're right. I think it is 8 in my mind, but yeah, it was because of the way his actions influenced 8. I think you're right. Yeah.
And this is what's key to the subtext of the game. Diana, she finds out, I was a failure, but Diana's a sweet girl because at that point Higgins still had a lot of love in his heart and
she was in cold storage
and was fighting for something. 8 saw, which is a direct reflection. It's something you hear all the time. Your kids are a reflection of you. So if you have a lot of anger in your heart and you have contempt for the world, so will your kids.
Wow.
Yeah. But then also he couldn't bring himself to destroy Diana. Which is why I put her in cold storage. It's almost like a protection. And with 8, there's when 8 shares part of her memories with Diana in the Terradome in Chapter 3, when we before we know she's a bag of shit. Diana mentions to Hugh throughout a series of conversations in Chapter 5, or excuse me, in Chapter 4 and 5, where there's a lot of sadness in her heart. Like there's just so much sadness in 8 that she felt, and she felt bad for her. She's like, I want to make her happy. I want her to see that there's like good things about. And I don't remember exactly the dialogue that Diana says, but because it was from a child, and you're like, oh, that's really sweet. But it's really, really well reflected because Hugh is trying his very best not to be like, we're gonna kill that bitch. Like he doesn't say that, but he's just like, no, Diana, things might not go the way that we want them to. And that's exactly how you have to handle it with a child, because you're not going to just lay like, welcome to the real world, you 6-year-old bitch. Like he's not going to do that,
Yeah, not with a young kid.
Unless he's heartless, but he's not. And so we know as the players, like, oh, what's going to happen? Like, because we just know it's not going to end well one way or another. Who's going to sacrifice? What is going to happen? Who's going to die? Somebody, like, not everybody's getting out alive one way or another. And I thought that was really well handled too, because they tried eventually, as we'll talk about with 8, and you got to witness your kid grow up a little bit and also not be a butthole. Like it was just another one of those proud parent moments where you're like, oh yeah, it worked. And I didn't even have to tell her the bad news. You did, but you didn't. So yeah, Bob, I'm sorry. You are right. It wasn't Higgins that did that. It was the influence he did that made 8 think, I'm going to take this shit to Earth. And, but she's thinking about
interpreted motivation.
Yeah.
Which was very smart. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah. Right.
It's actually the one thing that kind of saved the story, because I had problems with the Delphi, like, Delphi, daughter, tragic story. I was like, fuck, don't give me Resident Evil storyline. Like, just don't do that, please. And then they kind of skirted around it very well, and I was like, okay, I can live with this.
Yeah. Capcom definitely likes that narrative point for some reason,
and that was my concern, was they were going to just hit that same trope, and I'm gonna be like, oh, Capcom doing Capcom things. You were all the way up, and then you tripped at the
tripped over your dicks again. Come on. No, they did not.
Your fucking ego got in the
way. We're on our way to the Edis chamber, right? Or this is the next section.
Yeah,
I don't even remember where we left off, but I assume so. Yeah,
after the Luna mines, you go in to get to retrieve a thing. When at the end of that sequence, Diana gets corrupted.
Yeah, and so does Hugh.
And but like she doesn't know that at this point,
right?
And so he's strong enough to get her back to the shelter to try to fix her. And then we go to
the lab, the Pragmata lab.
The secret area. I mean,
yes,
it's not a secret. Everybody has to do it if they get that far in the game. But secret for the lab, you aren't able to go back there.
It was a closed off section for the trams, and it was just, they opened it because Diana was basically failing and dying. So this is your sequence where Diana's dying, and you're trying to save her, and you're trying to get this dead filament out of her.
Yeah.
So,
and when you arrive in the secret area, you sort of half healer. I don't. It's not even healing really. She comes to. Right. She's a little bit better, but she's corrupted. So now the gameplay mechanic that changes, which is everybody's least favorite or favorite part of Resident Evil games, when you have almost like an escort mission, or you're neutered from a lot of the powers you had before in some way that is more annoying than fun. That's a lot of people when you replay. We talk about in Requiem the section where you're not playing as either of the two protagonists, where it's just like, I don't want to do this a second time. That was what I was worried this section was going to be. And I will say on Lunatic difficulty, I was a lot more, not frustrated, more annoyed, where I was like, this is taking way too long, because her hacking is slowed down. There are corrupted nodes. For people that haven't played it, there are corrupted nodes that it's like, ow, like you can't keep going. There's like a cooldown when you're hacking. And it's fucking awful when the enemies have 6 billion% health pool and you have to hack slower and your weapon sucks a bag of dicks. That it just took a lot longer than I expected to. I didn't die. I wasn't in any worry of dying. I was just like, man, I've kited this guy around for like 20 minutes. Just why the fuck do I do this? That's the only time in this hard playthrough that I've been like, okay, this is starting to get on my nerves. But it's really cool in the normal playthrough, because you're worried about her as a dad, you're worried about her, and then also you can't play the game as well, and you're just like, I'm just trying to save her. And then she ultimately like straight up passes out again, and you have to get I think it's a power core to fix her the right way. And you get there, you're worried, you throw in the machine, you get the power core, you're just like a worried parent, and you're just on the edge of the bed like, oh my god, please be safe. And then this motherfucking giant bot comes in and tries to kill you, and you can't
the Sentinel
do anything about it. Is that the Sentinel? The one that's got like double blades and shit?
Y'all, my favorite.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like,
so good. The enemy design is incredible.
Not fun to fight though. I gotta tell you. I mean, like, fun to fight, but a pain in the dick.
Especially when you fight them both.
Yeah, that's
one of the challenges.
That was a bit of a bitch. Although now I probably would go, but Lunatic was just like, but you can't hack it. You're defending her while the machine is trying to fix her up, and this thing's trying to kill you. And all you can do is really shoot it with your little pea shooter and run around. And realize how much you miss Diana. Not just because she's a daughter,
but like,
she is. She's so helpful. And then so you're just surviving long enough for this thing, and then eventually she wakes up, and it's fucking awesome, because it's an upgrade to your overdrive, and she can destroy all the corruption
protocol,
and she just deletes this bitch. And you're just like, oh my god, I love you, daughter. And then she's back, and she's stronger, and she better. But the sad part is Hugh is corrupted. And she talks about, she's like, oh, good news, I can get rid of this corruption now. So we get another new move, not just deletion protocol, but you can hold L1 and charge this little thing that gets rid of another Metroid impedance that we had a little earlier. And they give you a small little tutorial to clear it. But it also introduces a mechanic in the combat where you can have corrupted enemies that can't be hacked until you clear the corruption.
I use the shit out of it, because you have to charge it up, and then if you charge it up fully, it's just like an AoE fucking crazy attack. I would just run around charging that shit up.
Yeah, it was such a cool thing, because it took the corruption that bothered us in that earlier section, that hindered us from being able to hack with Diana quickly, and basically transported it onto the enemy in a way that, like, an android would figure out, and a smart child with proper teachings. She just has a whole lexicon of math behind her that makes her a lot faster at figuring it out.
0110011.
Yeah, she learns how to break the corruption, and then she can hack it. So you got rid of the problem that she had, and essentially created another gameplay mechanic that was another layer to this already very layered series of combat choices, decisions, and things that you can do.
It just keep evolving it.
But during the next section, Hugh asks her like, "Hey, about this corruption, can you? Does it work on organics?" I don't remember exactly how he says it because it's very layman's terms, but he's basically asking about himself without telling her, "Hey, I'm going to die," by the way, because he doesn't want to say that to the child. And she's like, "No, unfortunately, it only works on this." And she gives a very scientific reason. And he's like, "Oh," and she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "I just wondered." And she's like, "Okay." And your heart fucking breaks because again, as the gamer, you're just like, oh god damn it. You just you just know, and it fucking sucks. There's nothing you
and
can
the crazy part is there's no visual representation of this because he's in his suit. And
like it's on his face
when
but he hides his face from her because she would know. It's so smart, and
it's so good.
Breaks your heart every time she asks him another question, like, or hey, when we get back to Earth, you're gonna take me to see mountains, right? And he's just like, you bet, kiddo. Like he just gives this it's just like, oh, I was so worried for obvious reasons. Sorry, I sort of took over there because I did remember. I mean, I did just do that section, so it was a little easier to say it.
Please do.
But we get back to the shelter because she's a badass bitch again. And now we're entering the final level, the final area, the final reel.
So cool. The Tower of Edis.
Yeah. And I will turn it back.
The elevator. No, the elevator.
You're trying to get to the central elevator, but you have to go the long way. The tram can't get you any closer, so you have to go through a lot of, I don't want to say bullshit like in a bad way. Just it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it is the culmination of everything you've learned in this game. So there's black, the corruption is everywhere. What did you call it? The dead filament? Dead filament. Black goo. So if you step on it, you take damage, and Diana's is like, I don't like that stuff. Like she's trying to keep it away, and she can deal with it. Right. But it's also not good for you either, and it messes with your sleep. Right. So it's another traversal mechanic during fighting and combat. You can't necessarily go over there. You can glide over there for a second, but it keeps the game interesting while you're fighting those baby-faced Demogorgon bitches who can also be corrupted. Those fucks. And so it's a way to introduce things that you already knew and make them hard. And again, just adding another layer, another element. But while you're going through this whole section, you're just getting more and more heartbreak between questions that she's going to ask Hugh about going back to Earth. And I mean, some of the things are like, oh, do you really think we can stop 8? And what I alluded to earlier when I said he was like, hey, things might not go the way we want, kiddo. But he's basically foreshadowing something's going to happen.
Right.
But they get closer than ever before. And as though you didn't think they could get any closer, that they somehow do. And you get up to the final little bit, and you can basically see the elevator in front of you. And I mean, it's a game. It's a Capcom game. It's a game-ass game. So we know there's going to be a boss fight. There's an arena, and you're just like,
right,
here we go. And you think, what's going to happen during this fight? Well, 8 shows up, obviously. I mean, duh. And she turns into, I don't remember her name, but I was just like, awesome. What is this design? This boss design was so cool, and it fit really well into the Pragmata world with the the Luna filament making stuff, and her just being an android who's like, I'm gonna stop you because I need to do this for what would essentially be her dad, Dr. Higgins. And it does give a little bit of a mirror of what Bob was saying earlier, with his darkness was her darkness, Hugh's light is Diana's light, and you know that you're on the good side. At least you think you are, and you have a pretty good feeling that you are. And I half expected her to drop some bombshell like everybody on Earth is dead, by the way. Like I didn't know where this was going to go, which I love in a game, especially that far into a game where you think you know where it's going to go. Certain things you do know, and we've already foreshadowed that ourselves. But this one, I really didn't know how this fight was going to go. I didn't know if it was going to be so on rails, because Capcom does like to do that.
That's the next section.
Asura's Wrath. Yeah, but we didn't know that's the beauty of it. You didn't know that. And I thought, give me a fun mechanic, but don't interrupt me with 45 cutscenes in the middle of the thing. Like that's annoying to me in a final fight. And I'll tell you what, they did not disappoint. That fight was awesome. It was very epic. It was very, very I will say, and this is not a humble brag, but did you beat her the first time, Matt?
Yeah, I think so. I think this fight, because it was manageable.
No, this is not the humble brag, but this is the first death I had in the game was this fight. And then I don't know, I'm assuming you've had to do a respawn, but when you respawn for this fight, they make Diana makes comments. So like when I went back, I think like the second or third time, because I got it by the third try, she goes, "We'll get him this time."
No,
so like
interesting.
It's a little interesting like callback to that. And I will say, Matt, because you mentioned it earlier, this fight is where I was like, "Oh, there's Stellar Blade."
Yeah, okay.
It's a very specific fight out of Stellar Blade. I was like, "Oh, there it is."
Yeah, that does feel right. I will tell you, I did not die against this boss the first time, but it was a limp to the finish line because I just didn't. The first phase was actually a little harder than the second, and I don't know if I was just tired because the second phase she really turns up the heat, and when you do the hacking matrix and like the red corrupted nodes like show up, they move.
They start blinking.
Yeah. I got right through that. I was like in it by that point in the fight, and I had no healing, and I had maybe 200 health left, and I was like, I will not die to this hoe. And when I limped across the finish, I'm not kidding, I limped.
Wow.
But I will say, when you have to beat her again in the harder version for the secret ending, I did die against her. She hit me in the fucking mouth, and it was not pleasant. I was just like, ooh, that was hard, because the other bosses that I redid were kind of a joke. I expected them to be really hard, and they weren't. She was hard. I mean, I beat her the second time. When I went back,
she changed
Diana. Yeah, she's like, you have to watch out for those spikes or whatever the hell she says. And I was like, I know that, daughter. Thank you. I was so upset because I felt like what? Who are you now? But limping across the finish line and hearing 8's, death dialogue and Diana. I mean, the end of the fight when she comes at you with everything she has, and then Diana just fucking straight up deletion protocols. It was so cool to see her be able to do that. Awesome cutscene, and very short and sweet, right? But Diana and 8, they just have a quick moment, and not tropey because it wasn't like, oh, if only you were good. It wasn't that. She was just like, sorry, like whatever. I don't remember what she says, but and 8's just like, and then she just fucking fades away. It's great.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, man, what an ending. Well. And then we go to what I'm going to assume might be, Matt, was this your favorite sequence of the game?
Easily.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
So after
they walk on the elevator, and again, mind you, Hugh is like straight up fucking dying this whole time, and he can't. Yeah. He's just trying to save Diana.
It's like the slow walk. Yeah.
Yeah. He's breathing heavily. He's panting heavily, and part of it, she's an android. She knows he's human. So she knows that he gets tired and stuff, but she's really sad that 8 had to be stopped and destroyed.
Right.
And so they're on this elevator.
But she's still also excited to get to Earth.
Yeah. But she's like melancholy, I think is the word I would use to describe it. 'Cause she's just like, I really wish that 8 could have come with us.
Right.
And very much like the way a child would think. And he was like, we did what we had to do. And she's like, I know, but it would have been nice if she could understand. And then she's like, but we're going to Earth, right? So your next thing, you think you're going to go up this like Stellar Blade-esque orbital elevator, the 3D printer that is an elevator. And then
the bitch comes out of nowhere. Just Ouroboros comes out of nowhere. Dead filament, just tentacle monster. and you're riding the elevator, or well, you get attacked, and you're just like flung. Or no, you go into the storage and you find you see like a little silhouette of a mech suit.
It's basically Armored Core. For people who know Armored Core, it's a fucking Armored Core suit that works in space. It's awesome.
And I saw it, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna get in that thing some way, somehow. And lo and behold,
how Resident Evil of you,
right? Oh yeah, the railgun. So you're on that,
right? You know, it was done right. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No, you're good. So you get attacked, and you get in this mech suit, and you're like going toward Earth, away from the moon, on the elevator, and in this mech suit, fighting this just amalgamation nightmare creature of dead filament. And you have a big old railgun on your right. You have thrusters that you can dodge left and right. Diana's still being a little badass, hacking stuff.
So cool.
And dude, the vista, like with the moon getting smaller and smaller, and you're like, oh, it's looking like the moon more and more. And just, God,
the background
entire sequence
was so cool. Because also, you feel that just, I don't know, scary isn't the right word, that fear of like, this can't go on forever. Like, what, you know, I'm going to just float away and die. What the fuck am I supposed to do against this thing? It's a very Capcom moment. It's what they do better than just about anybody in the business, where it's, I mean, if you just describing this to somebody is ridiculous. The thing is like 1/8 the size of the moon, climbing this fucking tower, trying to just eat your face. And you're flying around in a mini Evangelion Armored Core suit with a railgun, very Capcom, and you're not mad about it. You're just like, oh yeah, like you feel very, very badass and strong, which is cool. And it's very on rails because the real fight just happened. But this was the moment of like the power,
exactly,
that you just like, yeah, let's go, let's fucking go. Is how I felt when I was doing it.
Right. Yeah, it was the magnum opus, production piece of putting a cap on the story, right? But I mean, it doesn't end there.
No,
right?
It surely does not.
But you're shooting the weak spots with the rail cannon, and just the haptic triggers are just singing, man.
Wonder how that feels on the Switch too. Sorry.
Right?
That's just low.
I know. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's stinky. But eventually Diana's like, I have an idea. And she fucking hacks your cannon and makes it God mode for some, I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, the thing hits you, it destroys like part of your suit.
Yes.
So Hugh's just like, what the fuck else can we do? He doesn't actually say that, but he might as well. And then Diana's like, let me try. And you're just like, yes, you try. You do it. You do it, girl.
And the gun like grows in size. And now you have this, I don't know, it's a light cannon crazy thing that you hold. And it's
Mega
like
Man.
Almost. Yep.
It's a Mega Man in space.
And it's almost at you, and then you just like you let go and just blows a fucking hole through it.
Yeah.
It's so, and it pans out, and like you see the earth in the background, and this just, I don't know, tentacle creature gets split in half.
He gone, basically is awesome. The point. During that fight, the thing destroyed the top of basically where the shuttles were housed. And
destroys the shuttles that take you home.
Yeah, so Hugh's very worried about that during the fight. He's just like, the shuttles, but you're trying to survive. So very epic sequence. I recommend if you do not want to play this game, at the very least, do yourself a favor and look up the sequence online because it's very, very cool.
Yeah,
and
please.
For anybody who played Capcom's earlier renditions, I think it was called Asura's Wrath. I wasn't a big fan of the game myself. This was what that game wanted to do really well. This sequence much tighter, much shorter, but oh man, the epic nature of it was
just a set piece, dude.
It really was a way to show off things again, you know.
Oh my god, just show off next gen for sure. And the fidelity of it ran blistering 60 on PS5 Pro. It was just chef's kiss. But I think Hugh mentions, he's like, if we keep getting closer, he's going to destroy the elevator, because the elevator stops and then there's the escape shuttles, right? For regular crew. So once he shoots it, Diana had put so much power into the rail cannon that she kind of like passes out, and she passes out in zero gravity, and she just starts floating away, and you're like, no. And Hugh's like, oh, no. And he goes to save her with his thrusters and like grabs her, brings her back. And it's just a really, really cool moment after a crazy fucking chaotic set piece, to where they're just like floating in space and you see the contrasts of the moon and Earth. And just Bob, you love this sequence too, didn't you?
I really enjoyed it. For what it was. Like, it was a great capstone.
Yes, that's a good word for it, for sure.
Yeah, the boss fight with eight, it was like, oh, this is cool, but like you said, it didn't really feel well to end on.
Yeah.
So to get this whole doing the rail cannon scene going up, and like you said, the scale of it, because if you were watching during the fight, it's slowly the base that you've been on and exploring is getting smaller and smaller, and you realize you're getting that much fucking higher off the ground. I'd say the only thing that, and this is just to me, I still think it's entirely perfect the way it is, but for me, I think it would have been really cool to have some more stakes into that fight, because it was very scripted and on the rails.
Scripted.
Yeah, you kind of knew, because I think the way that Capcom thinks about it is like the 8 fight was the high stakes. This is now the fun part. Let's just show off, But I do agree. I think I knew I wasn't going to fail. I wasn't worried about that in that point.
I'm still waiting for and I'm going to say it this way, folks. Old traditional RE2 25-year-old game. All right, I'm about to minor spoil that 25-year-old game. I wanted this to be the secret boss fight that you got with Claire on her side B from Resident Evil 2, where you've exhausted all of your options and resources, and then all of a sudden you're like, here, oh, by the way, here's one more. And like, that's when it really kicks in, because I remember as a teenager playing that, and that blob comes in onto the train, and you're like, oh fuck, shit, I used everything.
I have a knife. Is that gonna work?
Yes, that was my hope, or that would be my hope. But at the end of the day, not to take it away, that would have just been my preference. I still think it was amazing. It was very well done, and it led really well into the next sequence here.
Oh yeah,
none of us want to talk about.
No. Oh, I'll decide. This was my favorite part of the game.
It was perfect.
They did it so well, and I was wondering how they were going to do this. I was like, okay, well, Hugh's not going to make it, and he's got to send Diana away to Earth. But how are they going to do that? And how is this going to play out? And they find this cargo shuttle, and he's like, oh, awesome, we can do this. And he's like, okay, get in there, Diana. And she's like, okay, cool, you coming in? He's like, sorry, kiddo, I gotta kickstart it from the back. I gotta manually push it because something's broke on it. And I was just like, oh god. And
it was like if your kid has, like, if a kid's dog is dying and you want to take it to put it down, and you don't have the heart to tell your kid, like, well, the dog's running in a field where it can run forever now. It felt like you were doing that to yourself. I mean, it's not funny, but it is, because I was heartbroken the whole time. Like, the whole time I was like, I don't want to do it though. I don't want to push. I don't want to. I don't want to. But it was handled with such grace. I like you said, I didn't know how Capcom was going to do it, not make it stupid or just kind of teasy. And man, they picked that fine line, and they tightroped it. It was
nailed it.
It was just, and it didn't go on too long. It wasn't too quick. It was just right.
Just right.
And her reaction.
And I think my favorite screenshot of the entire game, I think the beach one when they're in level 3, that's one of my favorites. But one of my favorites is when he tells Diana, hey, kiddo, I can't go with you. And she's like, well, why not? And he opens up suit, and it's all fucking corrupted.
Half of his face is just wrecked.
Sorry. And then he puts his hand on and you see the moon in the back or the earth in the background, I got a screenshot. I'll send it to both of you. That's my favorite because the contrast is like,
it's great.
Oh, and she's just freaking the fuck out. She's
I mean,
like,
the look on her face is so. Again, I mean, I've used this word a lot for this game, but it's authentic. It just like this is exactly what would happen if this situation were real. Right? You know, it's a game,
right?
But
and then
he just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, this is heartbreaking, and then it's like, oh, this cargo ship needs a battery.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same battery as my fucking suit. Well, okay. And so
giving you a plot point.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both printed by the same manufacturer.
Yeah, that's true. I will say there was a one piece though, as he's pushing it up and getting ready to push it, that like was you alluded to it, Caleb, the authenticity, because he puts her in there, and then if you notice, the one thing is, read on it, it says not for human, the cargo only on it, because it's a cargo trip. And then her insistence as he's getting ready to push it, she's like, let me help, and he's like, sorry kiddo, some things just have to be done manually. I would see exact line out of there, and I fucking love that, because it loops all the way back to the beginning. He hates AI. He's like, he doesn't like robots. He likes mechanical, manual things. So it leans back, and he's protecting Diana from that truth, because when they first met, let me help, and then she kind of was like, yeah, I'm gonna let. She forced her way in, and this is one of those times where he's telling her, sorry, you can't help on this one, and to have to do that as a parent for your children, be like, sorry, I enjoy your ability to help, but you can't, is fucking heartbreaking.
Well, and the best part is that she listened to him this time, because they have that relationship now where she's like I mean, she doesn't say this, but again, subtext, where he wouldn't be telling me this as insistently if it wasn't important. So I'm just going to sit here like he asked. I'm going to do the thing that Hugh asks me to do. And you just like, God damn it. Because you know where it's going. But I think my favorite part of that whole sequence was actually after he, when the thing is launching and he's outside and you can tell the suit's dying, he's dying. And it shows her very upset as the ship is like taking off, but you don't get to hear what she's screaming. It's just like her mouth's moving and she's like pounding the thing. But the sound design in the game, I don't know if I'm using the right term, but they do this in movies a lot when you're supposed to feel hollow, right? You just feel hollow. The sound is hollow. Like you don't hear all the things that you're seeing. Your mind is actually hearing it for you. You don't have to hear it. You don't have to hear her pounding on the glass or shouting like, no, Hugh, no, whatever. You can see it and your mind does the rest. And the sound design just nailed that while she's basically being, shot to earth, separated from Hugh. And he just floats off away and dies.
And the beeping is life support systems beeping, and that's all you hear. And then it just keeps slowing down, and
you think you see the life just like leave his eyes, because he doesn't. There's no life support, and the corruption isn't great. That's
he did.
From a theme standpoint, I will say, or thematics, like subtext, as you said, Caleb, that entire ending was hands down the favorite part of the game, because if you think about it and you call back to when he first met Diana and they did the Hugh Diana thing, what did he do? He closed the visor. He closed off to Diana, and then by the end he opened up the visor. The subtext on that, holy shit, I cried. When he opened that up, I was like, oh, you just did it. You went full circle, and I didn't even realize you went full circle without actually telling me. It's the show Don't Tell Me.
Yeah.
I'm not above admitting that I bawled. I did. And actually, so I could have actually finished the game, the first playthrough the night before. But I mean, I assumed, I didn't know exactly how much was left, but I was like, I'm pretty much near the end. I could do this tonight, but I just had a feeling based on all the other stuff. And I was like, I don't know that I want to do this and then go up to bed and just be really, really sad. Right. So the next day, Lisa was working from home and I told her, I was like, I'm going to try to go down. I think I have some time. I think I'm going to go down and try to finish that game. And she's like, oh, okay. And she said, why do you look sad about it? And I was like, I'll just tell you later. And so I went upstairs afterwards and she was like, oh my God, she thought somebody died for real. Like that I got a phone call. And I was like, I'm a fucking wreck from that ending. And she was like, was it good? And I was like, it's one of the best endings that I've seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really, really good. I did not
since Claire, I'd say.
Yeah. But I didn't expect Capcom to be able to do that to me.
No.
Like that's not really what they do in their game. I mean, I feel stuff, but it's more like, oh, okay, great. Like I mean, I didn't cry at the end of Resident Evil 8. All right. Resident Evil 8 doesn't have the happiest ending in the world, but it's also not this. Like I didn't expect them to deliver this. And when they did, I was just like, oh my God. And I actually am a little bit nervous about doing it again tomorrow when I do the final. I don't know if I want to go through that again, but man, is it was
ripped my heart out.
Perfect. But we should go to the happy part. Diana makes it to Earth, right?
Yeah, and where's she land? The beach.
And now you see her little footprints leaving the shuttle in the sand. And did you? Fun fact: did you know that her footprints actually change depending on her outfit?
Very cool.
The first time that I beat it, I just had everybody in their normal costumes, their regular look. And then when I went back and did the secret ending, doing the unknown signal and doing that, I had her in a different outfit where it wasn't just her bare feet, it was shoes. And on the beach, it was shoe prints. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I remember
attention to detail. That's awesome.
It was such a cool little thing that I just didn't expect. And I was like, oh, that's fun.
You didn't have to, but it's appreciated.
Yeah. I loved that.
Exactly.
It just lets you feel like your decision actually mattered. Like if she's wearing a spacesuit when you send her out, she's going to be there in a spacesuit.
That was my favorite, the spacesuit with their little pigtails.
Yeah.
So you guys are the same when you play through an entire game for the first time. You keep the default suits for the to keep it.
It really depends. If I super hate it, like if I just really hate the design, I might find one that's similar that I don't hate.
Mm-hmm.
But generally speaking, I do keep if it's a visual thing only.
To keep it consistent.
Yeah,
me too.
Like one of the things that I would say, I don't want to spoil other games, but let's say there's a huge power creep in another action game where they get a suit unlocked that makes them bigger, better, faster, stronger, and it's a story. A story element. Like this happens. Hey, all of a sudden now you wear all black because you've changed.
Right.
It's a character development. Then I will wear that one. I won't keep the old one on. It depends on where the story takes me. And in this one, it was sort of take it or leave it because it was part of the game. But I also just really liked her default costume, her big jacket. I loved it. So I thought, why not?
Yeah. The character models, I think, were awesome. And I just kept them the same. Now, for my second partial playthrough and like the cleanup and stuff, I did use that blue suit. That blue suit was sick.
That's my favorite.
Yep. Yeah, it absolutely was. But no, I don't keep to the default. But depends on the game. Depends on the game.
Yeah.
So this was one where, like you, Matt, I gave him the extra $10 because I'm like, fuck it, you can have my money.
Yeah.
This game's amazing.
Yep.
And then I looked at the outfits you get for the digital deluxe version, and I was like, they're not that great. Right. Okay, you know what? Never mind. And then I started getting, and then I got another set, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then by the time I got the 5th or 6th cosmetic set, and there was an entire dedicated thing, and it said new outfit.
Right.
It made me realize something about that game's design, which is they encourage you to change it. They're not saying, hey, stick to the default. Like I get the staying true to form, but this game was literally screaming, customize this experience. It's not going to hurt anything. And I said, screw it. And I was trying all different kinds of outfits the entire playthrough.
I did when there's a conversation at one point with Diana where she's like, I wonder what I could wear. Whatever, I don't remember exactly how she says it.
Yeah.
I gave her a new outfit and she's like, I just love changing clothes. There's something so fun about it or whatever. I did that the first playthrough. And so I during the game would change their outfits. But for the last stretch, I went back to the defaults. So
yes, I'm with you on that one.
For the screenshots.
Well, and I was like, you started this way.
Exactly.
There hasn't been a character development that's been like, yo, Diana, now you're a grown ass woman or something. Like that didn't happen.
Right.
So she doesn't get to have the new suit because I just thought she was perfect the way I met her. And I thought, let's go out the same way.
I would always talk to Diana in the shelter. Always. Just straight to Diana. What do you have to say? I'm so interested. In some games, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to, like, I usually explore and want to hear out people, but like side dialogue, I'm like, I don't need to do it every time. Every fucking time, I'd be like, what do you have to say now?
They made her so perfectly likable and lovable.
Yeah, and engaging.
And for kids to be that way is rare. Usually kids aren't that interesting. Yes, she's an android, so there's that science fiction layer, and also she gets to cheat by being much smarter. But again, when I said earlier, the innocence was there, and the pure, just the joy that she showed when she would see a new thing or experience something or have a conversation with you was unbridled. This unbridled joy is the way that I described it when I was and that was something else. That like Capcom just, I don't know what the fuck they were drinking and eating when they made this game.
Incredible.
They designed her character. I do think she's one of the coolest characters in a video game in a long time. Just like a brand new character was like, where did you come from? How did they make this so well?
Voice acting was on point. Mocap was on point. Just the actions and everything. Awesome.
I want that voice actress seriously to be, if she is not in the conversation at the end of the year, then I'm going to fly to Jeff Keighley's house and tell him that he fucking high guarded Diana, and I'm going to be pissed. Because
you're right, because I've heard I've read discourse where people are like, oh, it's an adult that was trying to forcefully be a kid, and I'm like, no, you want to hear that? And Matt's going to scream at the second I say this name. Go play Genshin and listen to Paimon. That character who's supposed to be a little fairy girl, her voice, the original voice actor, was like fucking nails on a chalkboard. I'm there's your comparison. Where you're right. This voice actress is amazing. She 1,000% needs to be nominated. And at the end of the day, I don't know how they did the mocap for Diana, but however they did it, they need an award too, because it's the little subtle movements of the character model that really sell it. Like when she's showing you the picture and then she like crosses her, she's kind of like hopping a little bit and really proud of it, and then she crosses her feet to point inward.
Yeah,
it's a fucking natural thing.
Yeah,
how did this team do that?
Yeah, I feel like I mean, this is not what happened, just for the listeners, but I feel like whoever was in charge of that, like, went home, has a daughter, and handed her a piece of paper and was like, draw me something and then show me how proud you are. And they just did that. And he's like, that's what it is. Because I don't know how else you come up with that. I have no fucking idea. It was so natural and good. But here's another thing. All the little pieces of dialogue that Diana had did not, to me, sound like somebody overacting and trying to be a child. Like when you play hide and seek, if you find her, when you find her, and she's like, oh, I was sure you wouldn't find me there. Like, she's really disappointed, but she's not sad or crying about it. It's just like, a kid would totally say that. They're just like defeated in that moment. And then immediately she goes and plays with the water gun. Like, she just like she cares, and then she doesn't give a shit because it's not that important. Just perfect.
An emotional range.
Yeah. And going back to my favorite line of just a house. Just, that's all she had to say. And it was perfect. And I'm not even doing it justice. I kind of want to record the clip and post it on the Discord for people that don't have any interest to be like, this is the line I'm talking about. It's fucking perfect. And I will die on this hill. But I want people to just play it instead. And if action games aren't your thing, there's no shame in playing it on casual and turning on auto hack or whatever. Just play it for the experience, because it is. I mean, play it for the games. The game's awesome, but if you aren't that good at games and you just don't have the interest in being very challenged, because it can be challenging at times, just do yourself a favor. Casual auto hack, when you unlock it, you'll be fine. It's such a good game, and it's not. I didn't think it was too long. When you told me 12 to 15 hours.
Yep.
I was like, wow, that seems really short, but I had a hell of a time with Resident Evil in like 10 and a half. and then it's made to play through again and again. I'm not kidding you. I got to that final save area or the final checkpoint, and when I decided not to finish it that night, I saved it back in the shelter, and I was at 11 hours and I think like 32 minutes or something. And I thought, well, he did say 12 to 15. So, okay. When I went back in the next day, I decided, because I did not want to be sad for the rest of the day, that I ran around and I went back through all the levels one more time for like 3 hours. And so even though I could have done it in 12 hours, I was like, no, I'm going to push this to 15, damn it. I think I beat it at like 14:45 or something like that. But
yeah, I think
it
was
really
like
is not.
14 or something.
Yeah, it's not that long. And I mean, don't blitz right through it unless you really just want to, but just enjoy the ride. It is
exactly.
You're not signing up for a 100-hour Death Stranding. I mean, Death Stranding's great, but this game somehow packed a lot of magic in 12 to 15 hours. It was well worth it.
Yes. Yep. We roll credits. Oh, dude, the credit sequence, the track. Oh, so good. And then
I was so sad.
Then we get
so
I know,
sad.
dude, I sent you guys a picture of me. You can look at it after the cast. But it rolls credits, and then it's like, oh, there's some sort of unknown signal. And so you're like, what's this? And it more gameplay and just gauntlets of shit. So, and a secret ending. So what's canon? Is Hugh alive or dead? Regardless, he sacrificed himself for Diana.
Yeah.
But does he live?
Do
we want a sequel? No.
I would like something like, maybe not. I mean, I want a sequel because the game was awesome. Like that, just like the game part of me.
Yeah, but oh man,
but
it's so
the way it
tough.
is. It's hard.
I don't want a sequel.
I'd like to think that it is canon, that he's fine with the black box treat. I mean, it's a spoiler cast. Why am I avoiding it? Basically, you go through this gauntlet of shit that Matt was talking about. It is fun. It is. They ramp up the difficulty a little bit, especially on the very last one, where I was like, Jesus Christ! Just it went on for a while.
Yep.
I mean, not a humble brag, no real issues. I was just like, there's more. Like it just kept going. I'm like, fuck, this is a lot. But you unlock a mod that I believe it was called Black Box. With a question,
it is.
Right? That's it.
And they don't really tell you what to do with it, but it says that it can suppress the
dead filament.
Yeah. And so I equipped it, not knowing what it was going to do, and just ran around and killed stuff. And I was like, well, nothing's stronger. I mean, I wonder. And then it just clicked in my. I was like, wait a minute. So I beat the game again. I go through and find that fucking 8 is a bitch that time when you have the black box. She's like real jacked up. Just Jesus Christ mode. She was hard. I'll be honest. I mean, that was hard. That was actually a hard fight. That was the hardest fight in the game for me. When I did it. Now, who knows?
Right.
I'd probably go back and be like, whatever, lunatic, fuck this. But I'm not going to say disappointed until that last little, because it's not really a secret ending. It's more like a 8 extra
alternate
seconds, it's just a tagged on to the original ending. So I had to be sad and watch the whole fucking thing again, because I was just waiting. I was waiting for his helmet to go up and have the thing just like start to go away, and I'd be like, what? Yeah. Now what? Are you gonna just like hold on and rocket towards there? Like, what's gonna happen? And then no, he just floats away and fucking dies. And I was like, what? But no, that's not. But then I believe it's after the credits. I think it's after the credits. Yeah. You just hear, it's a black screen, and you just hear Cabin say one line of dialogue where he's like, welcome back, sir. Alone this time, or by yourself this time, or just you, or something. And you're just like, oh, he lied. Like he lied. Yep. And so that part of me wants there to be more, just because I think it would be, here's why. Let me sell it to you, because I agree. Okay. The game is pretty fucking perfect as it is, and you don't mess with perfection. We got Death Stranding 2, which I didn't think could be that much better of a Death Stranding 1 experience. But here's the reason that I want more. I want Diana's and Hugh's, I guess I want them to reconnect. I want to see what Capcom does with that scene, because you could even make it super interesting. I don't know if Pragmata grow. I don't think they do. I think they stay in that, like, she's not going to age.
Yeah, no,
really.
I don't think
she's an android. Yeah.
So it'd be cool if she could, just because that would make, for another gameplay experience, it would keep the first game separate from the second. But I would love, because she's going to have all these experiences on Earth without him. So
yeah, that's true.
The utter elation she's going to have that he's not only alive, but that she can share all of this stuff with him. And then she's going to be excited that maybe they can do stuff together, and they could be reacclimated and have to get back in the fight for some fucking reason that who knows. Capcom, because games, I don't care. I do want more, but I understand your apprehension. The way that Capcom nailed both of them so well, I want to see them reconnect. I would even, I would even take like a 15-minute short that I don't even play, just a video where she goes back to the moon for some fucking
DLC
reason.
Who knows?
And I don't know, but I would actually like that, and I can't believe I'm saying that, because I didn't want Claire DLC story. I was like, the story's perfect, leave it alone.
Yeah.
But for this, I think it's just because Diana was so perfect.
Yeah.
And Hugh did sacrifice.
I think it ended perfectly.
It did.
I think it ended perfectly when Hugh died. Unfortunately,
it really did.
I love when the main protagonist sacrifices themselves. Other games do this. I'm not going to spoil the shit out of other games.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, but I love when the main protagonist sacrifices themselves and dies. And because, I mean, life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. We all die at the end. And I think that was the perfect ending.
See, I agree. I think it's overused, but I think Capcom used it perfectly. It has to make sense in the story. It can't be like, well, I'm going to die because that's how people are going to be sad. No, fuck that. This was earned. It was like, no, this is the only way that this can happen. He is protecting her. He's getting her home. He is doing what he set out to do, and like, come hell or high water. And that was the perfect way for Hugh to go out. So if they never did it, never touched it again, great. Yeah. I just, guilty pleasure. I just like, I want more because they're great. Like, that's the only reason. It's a childish, selfish version of me.
A specific game I played, it was foreshadowed that the main character was going to die. And I'm talking, this is like a very, very prominent main character of a very prominent IP. And I was actually excited. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. And they never did it. And I was kind of bummed. So I don't know.
As long as, like Caleb said, as long as it makes sense from the storyline perspective and they don't do it just because, and as long as they make it to where the death actually means something.
Yeah, no, a sacrifice.
Yeah, it actually has to truly mean something as part of it. And they did it here. I agree. The game's perfect. Leave it alone. Yeah. It's like Claire. Just leave it the fuck alone and walk away and go do something else. Yes. But I also am with you, Caleb. You kind of like half sold me.
I know, that's the problem.
I wouldn't argue with a closure between Hugh and Diana. And like, now you got me wargaming it. And I'm like, no, because it's going to ruin the image of this game. No.
Well, that's the thing. Because then the problem therein lies, what happens after that? Like, why? Like, is she going to go back there for what reason? Is he going to get home for what reason? Just because he can? And then what? Like, what's
my question?
So,
what's the point? Delphi? And then it's like, but then you've kind of done a jump. But then if they do that, you've kind of done a jump the shark moment, in my opinion.
My question is,
he's a hacker. You could do some espionage and be like, we're going to take this bitch down from inside. I'm taking all their money. And now it's Fight Club. Like, I don't know.
My question is, what happens to Diana on Earth now? And is anyone there?
I mean, that was my other question is, Hugh came from Earth, or so we think. I mean, I'm assuming he wouldn't lie about that. That's stupid. But I wondered, because Delphi does exist on Earth.
And are they going to capture Diana?
Right. So I could see him being like called back into action, or what have you, and having to rescue her once again. I'm just thinking there are so many ways they could go. Should they? No, they absolutely should not. But the selfish part of me that wants more of this perfect game says yes. It's just it's
some sequels are better than originals. There's many. I mean, DS2, Uncharted 2, Assassin's Creed 2, so many.
I'd say RE2.
RE2.
I do think another reason that I would lean towards the yes category. And again, this is purely selfish. We don't get great science fiction that often. And the fact that we got a really great one now is like, keep it up.
Stellar Blade,
Stellar
Blade was pretty damn good,
but it's rare. Most of the time
with
science fiction, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And in this, it worked.
Calypso
really
Protocol.
Yeah, no, you got what you said. It's Stellar Blade,
Mass
Dead
Effect,
Space, Mass Effect.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Death Stranding.
That is science fiction.
Yeah,
I guess you could see that as science fiction. Yeah, yeah.
But there's too often science fiction's like fucking Mind's Eye. I mean, I'm sorry, Mind's Eye, that you're the butt of every joke, but a lot of times that's what happens.
I'm hopeful for Exodus.
Yeah, I'm actually hopeful for the Expanse game, but it is like the Expanse is already an established IP that not game wise necessarily, but the world they built is awesome. The books and the show. So not that that's cheating, but a lot of the heavy lifting is already done for you.
Lost Planet.
That was
not bad.
Yeah.
That was science fiction.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Fucking Chronos. You both of you still need to play.
Yeah, it's on the list. I almost started it, and we'll talk about that on tomorrow's episode. I almost started it, but then there was something else, and I was like, I got to do this, and then I'm going, do I have enough time to finish Chronos before First Light? And I assumed not. So unless I want to sleep, unless I don't want to sleep,
you want your wife to hate you for her birthday weekend, right?
Yeah. Can I get my humble, right? Can I get my humble brag in there now, Caleb?
Let's do it,
please.
The second fight with 8, piece of fucking cake.
Nice, very very nice.
Because they gave me the most overpowered fucking mod in the game.
Which one?
Auto charge your delete protocol. All you have to do is do that. Do your dodge expand window, and then you just get to hack. And then when you can't hack, you just dodge, and then all of a sudden, deletion protocol activated. And then it's like, all right, cool. Now I'm gonna teabag the fuck out of you.
See, I think my problem was because not that I was overconfident, but I was with all the other bosses that were like Mark II. I was like, ain't no thing. And I ran in there and I just was like full guns blazing. And then she hit me twice and I was like, where did that come from? And it surprised me because I was like, I don't get hit by this dumb bitch. And then she was just doing extra shit that I didn't expect. And I didn't play it safe. I was like, I just got mad. I was like, no, I'm going to get, no, ow, that's that.
She hits you one time and you feel it. You see your health bar go down and you're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. You gotta be tactful.
I overstepped. I did. I extended myself. And then, when I went back the second time, I was like, okay, that will not happen again. And it did not. So it was fine. But good for you. You're doing it the first time. That's
because
awesome.
That's how I did my build. When they gave me that, it was like, that was the perfect item for my build, because I know you said you did the heat, Matt, and I like the heat for hacking, but for me it was all about doing hacks sequentially to build up your overdrive bar. Like anything that said get more overdrive or this creates more overdrive, I was fucking doing it, because it's like, oh cool, you could use that as an iframe if you're about to get hit, and then hit everybody in a vicinity, and it's like, all right, cool, now you're stunned, cool, now I'm going to shoot you and do whatever I want to you, and then right before you're unstunned, I'm going to hit you with a stasis net. So it was like fighting a certain boss in Claire as a tactic.
Yes,
sure.
I stun locked the shit out of it.
Yeah, it was a stun lock build, just doing that.
Beautiful cool. Well, any other final thoughts on this wonderful game, Pragmata?
Play it.
You
gotta play it. If you're listening to this and you didn't play it, you've fucked up.
But I will say, as much as I agree with Matt on that, if you've listened to this because you were like, I'm probably not going to play it, and we've made you even remotely interested in playing it, don't not play it just because you know what happens. It is still worth the experience. It really is. The things we ruined for you won't hit as hard. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. But I do think that it is worth playing, especially because it's not a 60+ hour requirement.
It's a digestible game. I think, dude, perfect length of a game is like 20-25.
Well, it does depend on the genre for me, but you don't want a story a narrative like a God of War, you don't want that to go on for 80 hours. That's just
right.
much. So,
Exactly.
this game was it's made to be played. And it's a game. We talked about this a lot in the beginning and a little bit in the middle. It is a lot of game packed into such a tiny.
It is. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, the gunplay and the hacking and all the things you can do. It's just. I actually joked I with my wife. I said I think our niece is going to love this game because I feel like you have to be like the short attention span, the instant gratification of always hitting a button or doing something. And that's not a slight against the game because I normally would hate that, not letting it have time to breathe. But that's what the cutscenes are for, and that's what the dialogue is for. But the actual gameplay, if you are not always doing something, you're fucking playing the game wrong. And I normally tell people to play games however they want, but that game is meant to be played that way. Like you got to be hacking and shooting and moving and watching and looking, being aware of all your surroundings all at once. And it can be overwhelming at first, but once you do it and it clicks, you're like, oh man, I feel like a fucking badass. You really do. You feel that gamer strength when you're playing this game. It's hard to.
The power gain is awesome.
Yeah.
And from where you start to where you finish, it's completely different. And I love the evolution of gameplay and your character in a video game and gaining that power, right?
Yeah.
So the power level evolution is, and Metroid does it really well. So,
well, and the fact that it's a unique gameplay experience. It's hard to find unique gameplay experiences anymore.
Right.
I mean, we talked about Claire before. Claire's an excellent RPG. It is the love letter to all the best parts of RPGs that we liked. But all the parts and pieces, minus the narrative and the music, were basically from other games that existed. So they just took what existed and did them really, really well. Whereas if you could name another game that's like Pragmata right now off the top of your head, I would be impressed.
Dead Space is probably the closest.
Specifically gameplay.
Death Stranding.
Well, Death Stranding isn't that fast paced. I think.
No, I'm talking about like a unique.
Oh yeah, sure.
When you're talking about the uniqueness of a game, you've got Pragmata, you've got Death Stranding, and then I dare you to push me to a game that's like you truly, truly unique. And I'm not like Dead Space is an amazing game, but Dead Space is survival horror at the end of the day.
Sure. Yeah. But that's what I mean when you say Pragmata. Like we're going to be using this game to describe others that come after it to say, oh, it's very much like Pragmata. It's not, oh, Pragmata's like this thing I played in 1997. It's not the Prag genre, but that's the thing. It's its own thing. I mean, the science fiction is obviously science fiction, and there are certain tropes, whatever, with androids and all that. But the gameplay, the core gameplay itself, is so unique and so new and innovative. And just really, really fun. Like even when you fail, you're like, you hit a corrupted node, and you're just like, shit. And you want to do better, so you just do it again immediately. I can't praise it enough for that. I just
so good.
That I think is the best part of the experience. And then you have the rest of it, as far as the game is concerned. And then the rest of it, I said Diana is absolutely my favorite new character.
Yeah, the production, all of it.
They just. The gameplay, even if you fucking hate stories, the gameplay itself is worth it. So
exactly, game-ass game.
Game-ass game, yes.
Yep. Is this all of our current, not permanent yet? We're still way through the year. Current GOTY game of the year.
I think for me, yes. I personally think, like Bob, you said you thought it was underscored. I agree. I think this game deserves at least a 93, and I only give it 1 point lower than Resident Evil. Not for any real valid reason. It's just that I love Leon and I love Resident Evil, and I didn't think that they were going to make 9 as good as they did, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I did think they were. That's why I picked up on it early on and was like, yep, going to get it. But with Pragmata being a new IP, I did have a couple issues with it that are very, very minor, and it's not like Resident Evil on its hardest difficulty, 9, is more fun than this lunatic playthrough. Now, that's not because of the platinum trophy. That has nothing to do with that. The trophies are out of it when I review a game. It is simply because they took something and just turned the numbers up. Whereas in Resident Evil, they at least gave you, like, there was new shit, new mobs in the harder difficulty.
Right.
There were things that were just different. And you could also break it with your special stuff. So you got to play the game while also experiencing it fresh. And with Pragmata, that's really the only reason I give it 1 point under Resident Evil. Requiem. That's it. Because it's awesome. I think it's underscored. I think it's criminally underscored.
Me too. Bob, your goatee?
Yeah. I understand Caleb's argument for like 1 point lower, but I could also flip that and say, yeah, it could go higher. I could reverse that and say Pragmata is actually better because like I watched Matt's stream. Go listen to our Spoilercast on RE9. RE9 can hit really well the way Pragmata did, but they're like it can, but it's not guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
And RE9, for as good as it is, at the end of the day, still played it safe in some regards that I'm like, you did a lot of good callbacks, but what's the cool thing? What's the thing that's going to push the boundary? And I don't think it was there for me.
I hate picking favorites just because each game offers a unique experience.
But that's also part of it because they are technically different genres, right? Like Resident Evil is action adventure and survival horror, whereas Pragmata is action,
sci-fi,
action adventure, sci-fi. Like, it's just a different thing. So even though I might give it a little like a point less, it doesn't mean it's not a better game. It's just like the way that Resident Evil did both survival horror and action adventure and kind of hit both of those pretty well. That's the only reason I try to keep it in its bucket and say, for what you set out to do, you did this. And with Pragmata being a new IP, fresh IP, I guess I probably should give it bonus points for having a really good sci-fi story that just hit like that.
It's so good.
Would still, I mean, I'm still not technically done with it yet, so that score could change in my mind. But Pragmata is my game of the year. It has topped Resident Evil 9 for game of the year for me, even if the score isn't quite where I think it
is. But who knows if it sticks? We got a long year ahead still, and a lot of stuff releasing.
What are you talking about? There's no more games are coming out.
Right?
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Game's over. There's no Summer Game Fest this year. There's no State of Play in like a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whenever the hell or June 2nd, right? Tuesday.
Yep.
Sorry. There's a State of Play actually announced?
Yes. Wolverine centric.
Did you not see that this morning? It's Wolverine centric. It's an hour.
It's a little
second.
Jeff
Let's
Keighley
talk more about that.
Said it was just a little over he said it was over an hour. So it's focused on Wolverine, but other games, June 2nd.
Oh, shit.
5 p.m. All right, cool. Eastern. Sorry if I ruined that news for tomorrow's cast. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. I'll post this after, maybe. Okay. I don't know. But
whatever.
Yeah, if you haven't played Pragmata, go play it. It's a gem. We loved it, and we broke it open for you all. So
we hope we did justice for you, Bo, because I know Bo really wanted to be on this.
Yes.
He loves Pragmata. He thought the game was really, really good. So hopefully
it's his current goatee too.
Yeah. Hopefully we touched on the stuff that you wanted us to, and we represented. But hope all's going well with you and all that.
Definitely. So thanks so much for listening, and thanks for being part of our community. And this is a bonus episode, so we're not really gonna do all the plugs and everything, but we will tomorrow when we record episode 52 for you all. So thanks so much for listening. Have a great night. Go play Pragmata if you haven't. If you have, tell us what you think about it on Discord, why you loved it or hated it. Who knows? Art is subjective. That's why we have this podcast. So let us know what you think. If you haven't played it, go fucking play it.
A house?
Shapes of Gaming is a podcast shaped around gaming and, most importantly, our community. That's you. It is written, created, and recorded in beautiful Colorado Springs, Colorado by me, Matt Stenson, and my good friend Bob Harriman. If you would like to be part of this amazing community, be sure to like, subscribe, or follow us on all the social media platforms or the podcast app of your choice. Thanks so much for listening, and always remember, keep the conversation going, and most importantly, keep gaming.